I stayed in the Best Western Hotel. Yeah,
oh, this meeting is being live streamed. You see that?
Yeah.
So what it hit? Got it?
You live stream. You live, man. Let me get the channel so I can send a link out. Yeah, that's my whole thing, bro.
So Delina got it?
She already, yeah, I hit it. Somebody hit it. No, you live. What's the name of the channel?
It's Just Different with Ty. And that's TYA.
Hey, can you just copy and paste that and put that in here? Right here in the chat. You see, you got a chat at the bottom.
Yeah.
You see the chat right there, right? Look. You got a message in the chat. Look.
Okay.
Yeah, put the link there. So now you know you can always put links in there and stuff like that. And the people that you gave this live, well, I know you didn't give out the link, right? But you can if you want. that ain't the link to the. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You should have just put the actual link in there. That might have been too much. Let me see.
Probably.
Get us there. Is that's the name on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's right. It's Just Different.
When you write it out just like that.
I write it out. Well, that's at, but it's space. You know, it's Just Different with Ty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ty. The key is you want people to. I said it's Just Different with Ty.
Yeah.
How do people supposed to get to that though? They gotta type in all that. Is crazy. Yo, you defeating yourself, yo. That's man. Look,
they gonna get it. They got it. They got it.
All right. Okay. All right. All righty. Hey, man. Let me see. Got the live on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Bet. All right. Let me send it out. My people are already on it.
Oh, they already on?
They already. Yeah. They gonna know.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So now you set up whenever you want to go live in any conversation you want to do. Now you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You set up now.
So we live right now?
Yeah, we live right now, then, Mr. Ty.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, you gotta introduce you. You know, get yourself together, man. You talk to them, talk to you. It's your peoples.
You know, I'm just making sure, man. I'm putting out the red carpet for you, man. You know.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Come on, man.
Definitely, and it's well worth it, well deserved. So let's get into it, man. What's going on, world? Welcome to my podcast. It's Just Different with Ty. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And this is going to be a great, spectacular, wonderful video. You know, I'm here with the master teacher, scholar, someone who I admire, love, been watching his videos for so many years. Stand by this man 10 toes down. You know, this right here means a lot to me right now. So without further ado, everybody, I got the brother with me, the OG, Brother Ankh. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I want to clear something up. I'm not a master teacher, man. I'm not doing that.
To me, you are.
Yeah, okay. But
to me, you are.
Okay, all right, I'm with you. But you know, I take, those titles, man. I appreciate that though, right?
Yeah.
But to me, yeah, man.
I learned so much from you just, watching you do your thing, man. So many videos. And like I said, I told you the first time we talked, man, that, this definitely means a lot to me, and I appreciate you and I love you, man. And just taking time out your schedule to come on here and drop some knowledge. I'm all ears, Like I said, it's the red carpet, man.
Oh yeah, man. That's a good thing, man. I looked at one of your videos. You was going, and I was like,
and we gonna listen, and we gonna get into that too. We're gonna get into that.
But
we gonna get into that.
Nah, but somebody put me on the video. They was like, look, check it. I was like, I could just hear intelligent people. I don't care. Listen, everything need a tweak on it, a click here, a click there. That goes for me. An expert will come and give me a click right here, a click right there, look, tighten this up, boom, 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 boom. But an expert got to want to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So I've had conversations with experts and they be like, that you're going too far right here. Look, check this out. But you just can't be just a person who don't have the propensity. You can hear that. You wasn't talking about crystals and all that. I don't know where you at with that type of stuff, right?
That's not my lane.
But you wasn't there. I just, so I looked at the video, I liked it, but I seen how, what was the guy's name you was talking about?
The guy, the one who I was calling out, the guy, his name is Metatron.
Yeah, Metatron would have shot you up.
Yeah,
he'd have got you. Because they think they slick. He'd have got you.
Yeah,
he'd expose certain areas. I'm like, man, the brother way too intelligent. Let Megatron jump out on him like that. Because they play the whole Indo-European game, the Egyptian game. They bust out a Hubble group on you as if the Hubble group going back, 160,000 or maybe 50,000 years ago, and they're going to act like they know what the person looked like. What I'm saying is if that person is in an area with UVA rays and UV rays, they're going to be looking like you and me. Ain't no AC. Think about that. No cars, no AC, none of that going on. Matter of fact, they would have been naked. Most people don't know that, see? Yeah, they started, they was naked. Most people was naked. That shouldn't be hard to perceive. You see indigenous tribes today, okay? They wear very little clothes, some naked, some women topless. That you don't think that went on the Nile Valley? Of course it did. They was indigenous Africans. They in hot places. Okay, okay. So then what? Now what? You're not covered in hair, or we covered in fur, but alike dust in the fur. So Homo sapiens lost their hair. Probably somewhere around the Homo sapiens wasn't the first to lose their hair. I'm thinking it probably was Homo erectus. Somewhere around 1.5 million years ago, somewhere in there, lost their hair. All right, hair for comfortability, but it's really fur. Now that fur protected you from the harmful UVA rays. Okay, so when the homogeneous family lost their hair, something got a crack. Okay, because you're being bombarded, you're surrounded by radiation. So at the end of the day, something had to happen, and that melanin kicked in. Okay, uromelanin, theomelanin. There's two types of melanin. Simple. People try to act like Europeans don't have melanin. That's a lie. It's not the truth. And so we're surrounded by pseudoscientists that will mess things up. So I seen your game. I said, you got a nice game. I like your conversation. I say, so maybe I can add to help them out. Just pull a coattail a little bit. Look, man, I need all the help I can get over here. I need intelligent people like you. You know what I'm saying? I said,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why when you reached out, you remember the phone conversation? I said, man, this ain't Ankh, man. Stop playing on my phone. I was just so surprised, man. And I appreciate that. And you called me out, which I love you doing that when I said you quoted one of my videos when I said if anybody want to debate with me, you're more welcome. And you said that, and I was like, yeah, I did say that. So I'm definitely all for it. 100% for you. Basically fact checking me, going pointing out my errors and corrections to have a stronger debate when I go into this battle. So and who better than you to school, to put game on me.
Oh, man, of course, man. You sounded like I sounded 10, 15 years ago. Said the same thing. That's people miss that about the type of game I bring to the table. It's easy once you was that. It's easy. And I understand the phases of transition. So, we grew up as Christian, right? If you're lucky, you might have been raised as Muslims. Now, I say if you're lucky, because you're going to go through that stage anyway. So that means the rest of your family, your aunts and aunties, would have been Christians, okay? Your particular family would have been Muslims. And so now you're seeing two things. You're seeing the world through the eyes of being a Muslim, right? And through the eyes of being a Christian. Because when you go to dinner and all that, okay, I see your grandmama, she's a Christian, they praying to the Lord. In my house, we doing prayers. And so you're learning two different things, which is good. Human beings need to know as much as they need to know. They need to know as much as they can as they reside on Earth. It's called intelligence. And it's the thing that we kind of slowed up on. You know, we put stock into frivolous things instead of education. That's always been our thing. We was the first nerds. Eyeglasses and the whole 9 yards. That's us. We was that. Book readers. Papyrus. That's those ancient Africans. That's an African thing, papyri. And we can get into the complexion and all that nonsense, but it's on Africa proper. And these indigenous people invented, you know, the mechanism that the world will copy and write on. Okay? The scriptures that they talked about, the Hebrew scriptures, all that writing come out of the Meta Nature later on down the line. It's funny to me that God didn't give them a writing system. Why you gotta let the pagans give you a writing system? It's funny to me. But that's not why I'm here for real. I just wanted to make the point that intelligence is where we supposed to be as Black men and Black women. We supposed to be there, and we supposed to understand our environment. And the way you understand your environment is learn as many things as you can. So most of us was Christians. And then we fought, and some of us end up being Muslims. We learned that Malcolm X was a figure. Okay, we Muslims now. I remember when I said Allah, my mom said, "What the hell are you talking about?" She laughed at me.
Wow.
Man, went through that. I went through that class. You know, I call it class, right? So, okay, I understood Christianity. I remember, I forget the daggone holidays, but I remember not eating in the morning time, right? Okay, no eating.
Right.
You know, that holiday, the sacred holiday of the Muslims, you don't eat until the sun go down. Remember doing that was something you do when you locked up. You do that because you get access to more food. Actually, after the sun go down, you get all the trays and stuff, right? But I understood it. Go to Jumas. So I got a little thing there. I said, okay, Christians and okay, I'm learning, but we hadn't got back home yet. Where's home? Where's home for the African American? Well, home is in America for the African American. But before you even ask me the question, I feel like we should be world travelers. When I say world, either travel the world if you can. Now you can go on the internet and travel the world. But we should open up our mind to see everything we can possibly see. But all human beings want to know where they come from. That's why they study space. They want to know the origins. All human beings want to know this. And how do I know that all human beings want to know this? Because all human beings, based off their geographical region, created stories. And I'm gonna tell you, all them stories was wrong, though. You say, well, yeah, all the stories that human beings created before modern science, they got it all wrong. Now that's counterintuitive. That takes us down another street. It's counterintuitive. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm saying about 150 years ago, most people thought that they came from the pages of the book. Europeans did. Enslaved Africans did. When they told you that, you thought that. A lot of enslaved Africans was Muslims first. So they actually thought they came from the biblical narrative because Islam comes out of what? The biblical narrative. Judaism is a building. On the first floor is Judaism. On the second floor is Christianity. On the third floor is Islam. And just like that. Right? So most people actually thought that they came from the pages of the book. When I say most people, I'm simply talking about Europeans or Arabs, okay, or Jewish people thought that. They did. Now you got Africans in indigenous spaces that had their own creation stories. You got the Aborigines in Australia and different geographical regions within Australia had their different creation narratives. You had the Native Americans in Canada, in the West, in the South, North, Mesoamerica, South America. They had their own creation story. In the Amazon, they have creation stories. In Asia, they have creation stories. China, on the Yellow River, they speak of coming from these areas. Creation stories, all the way up Indo-Europeans. They all have creation stories and they all have a belief system. So you say, so then, and you didn't ask me this question, yes or no, I do not believe. I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. All right.
That was a question.
I'm the skeptic, right? I'm the real black atheist, but it sounds better to say I'm just a skeptic. See, sometimes you gotta be able to move and flow without getting on people's nerves and and they start hating. See, in the Black community, they told us the biggest lie. Here's the biggest lie, and I'm gonna let you get into your questions. The biggest lie is this, and this lie has slowed our growth and development down as a people in North America. This is what they say. They say the African is the most spiritual.
That's right. That's right. I hear that.
See, and we, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See? But they never give you the definition. What's the definition of spiritual? Why not say we the most intelligent, we the most scientific? Because that was on the table. If I had some things to pick for person to say, this is what you need to walk your life with, I'm gonna give you spirituality or I'm gonna give you science, scientific literacy. I'm gonna pick scientific literacy because out of scientific literacy, I can create my own narrative. But I'm gonna understand the world I'm living in. You know what I'm saying? So when they told us we was the most spiritual, they gave you a bunch of poof because there's nothing to that. Because there is no one way to be spiritual. Like, how do you be? What is spiritual? What's your definition of being spiritual? What would you say?
My definition of being spiritual is having connection with the universe. Just short and plain. That's it.
I like
having
that.
Connection with the universe and able to, and every living thing is in a sense like God, you know, in a sense. I'm connected to all living things, and I have I'm able to talk to all things in the universe.
You had a lot going on.
I did listen.
Well, I'm gonna show you what you did. This is what you did. I like that. I'm connected to the universe. That's a fact. There's no getting around that. You know, human beings are earthlings traveling in space, right? The very makeup of us, the very core of our biological and chemical makeup is actually stardust. Okay, some 4.5 billion years ago, right? When life comes to Earth, okay, somewhere in between that, all right? And so, yes, we are connected to the cosmos. And I would actually say that, I say, yeah, I'm connected to the cosmos. You know, the forged out of the elements, out of the first generation of stars. You know, we know that this sun that we look at every day is not hot enough to forge the trace elements. So there's another sun that burned hotter and it was larger and hot enough to forge the trace elements that we can find in our body. So absolutely, we cosmo people, we definitely part of the, absolutely part. But then you degrade it and you say, well, God. So now when you say God, now you safely put me in a particular culture now. Boop, boop, boop. Right? You put me in Indo-European culture because that was one of their was God, mighty men. The mighty chief become the God, right? Basic, God, good, Germanic word. Goes back to maybe water. Okay, they was libation, right? And now you start to see different people, libation, that was God, then to pour out libation, honoring the ancestors. Now you open up a whole can of worms, right? But you put yourself safely with God because it's a safe word for you. You didn't say Kulu, Kulu. You didn't say that. That would put you amongst the Zulu. You didn't say Allah, that would put you amongst the Arabs. So the name you call will put you in a culture because culture, custom, and tradition. So culture develop names and ideas and concepts based off the people. When the people develop ideas based off their geography. So if the mainstay of their geography that bring them substance is the river, right? Then they'll honor the river, like Happy in the Nile Valley. It's a river. You get fish, food out the river. Without the river, you die. Without them banks overflowing and bringing that soot, you die. You can't plant nothing. Starving. They got text. The famine. The river didn't overflow that time, right? Farming was low. So based off your geography, you will develop an idea and a concept, right? And you'll deify it because it becomes specific to your people. And then you might have some mighty men like yourself. You would be the great ancestor. They would deify you. So some people have ancestor acknowledgement. Here's the trick. Everybody don't pray to God. All indigenous tribes don't do. Some indigenous tribes right, give homage to the people that walked amongst them. And now with the great ancestors, they call them the great ancestors. Some people deify the great ancestor and becomes invisible and becomes the great god of the village. The only reason we know about the god of the Germans, the good, right, is because of slavery and the printing press. And those Indo-European stock, later on the Greeks, the Romans, okay, admixtures. Later on, they accepted Christianity. Now, Christianity is like a modernized version. Judaism, Christianity really was a sect of Judaism. It was a Jewish sect. And then it got separated. And then you get your New Testimony written in Greek. So you got these Hebrews, they spoke Greek, and we know they was educated in about probably second generation because the way they wrote these texts. Now, they don't have no original text at all. There's no facsimile. A facsimile is a direct copy from the original. They don't have none of that. Let's get that out the way. There is no original nothing. Right? The oldest Hebrew scripture is not even a scripture, right? It's actually like a song. I don't even think it's a prayer, maybe a calendar or something like that. Maybe we could pull it up later on. Maybe around 5th centuries, 400, 500 BCE. Back to the point, the only reason that Europeans, they picked that, it's coming out of the Greek expression, okay? The Roman Empire, Constantine and the boys, they decided as a political maneuver, okay, as a political maneuver to accept Christianity into the empire and make it the state-sponsored religion. That's what, there you go. So now it's sanctioned. And now if you go against that, you're in trouble. Now, prior to that, okay, if you decreed, if you didn't pray to that's why they said, give Caesar unto Caesar. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrews, they were like, yo, we're not going to bow down to your gods. That's fine. But most people in the Roman Empire bow down to the Roman gods, because if not, you're in trouble. They would actually call the Christians atheists. And at times they was getting persecuted. When the political maneuver happened, right, and Constantine was really trying to unite the Roman Empire with Christianity, now Christianity becomes that. And now these Germanic tribes, the Franks, the Brits, and all those, the Rus, right? Then they get Christianized. We know about the Vandals, the Visigoths, the Mountain Goths, all these people, sooner or later, coming in contact with the Roman Empire, they become Christianized. And you move forward in history, okay, the Roman Empire falls. That's the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages had nothing to do with nobody being in the cave. That's another misinformation that we got. It simply means that literature and stuff like that wasn't transmitted at a high level. So actually, we have been living in a dark age in our community because we have not promoted scientific literacy. Scientific literacy actually turns on the light of nature. It allows you to see nature because your senses are poor at that. So we back to the point. I just want to make this point. I won't get too far away and forget. Why was it Christianity? Why was the word God when we was acting? Why did you even use that? And I'm giving you the reasons. Because Christianity was accepted by those Germanic tribes that would later on become the French, the British, and all of that. And when they started this slave trade based off the misconception that the color of your skin makes you deficient and makes you half human. And this is the start of scientific racism. And they promoted in Harvard and Yale. Race is a social construct, but back then it wasn't. And I'm not saying that this social construct did not cause people to lose their lives. It did. It was the foundation of slavery, which is the largest forced migration on planet Earth. Right? And so this misconception of race and racism and putting yourself at the front of the line because of the color of your skin and enslave you because you're dark and you're a monkey, you know, all this is what they used. Okay? But these are Christians. 800 years prior to that, they Muslims doing it. Now, the Muslims wasn't quite doing it based off the color of your skin, but they was still practicing. They would still say, well, although you're a Muslim, yeah, we still can enslave. They would figure out, well, you know how that go. Okay, human beings will play all kind of games and tricks. But roll back to maybe 1455. Okay, slave trade in that area, you get Gutenberg. He invents the printing press. All right, so now you got Christianity. It's handwritten into that point. That's why so many mistakes in it. It's handwritten. You might be a priest riding on the back of a horse and hit a bump, and you trying to write it and you make the mistake, and then you give it to somebody else, and then they copy your mistake, and then they make a mistake. Then in the margin, they say, well, I don't think he meant that. I think he meant that. And they copy it in. This is all well documented, bro. Thousands of mistakes in that. So when people say this is an inalienable word of God, I'd be like, yo, stop playing. Because if we ask ourselves and be honest, human beings say it's the word of God. You never hear God come and tell you. It's the human thing. So writing a Bible, making a printing press is a human thing. Creating a religion, creating a God is an all human thing. The monkeys, the giraffes, the lions, the tigers, and the bears do not make Bibles and do not make gods. Although we all are animals though, huh? It's just part of our culture, is part of what we do. So that printing press is what allowed them to mass produce like the Gutenberg Bible, like one of the first Bibles mass produced. Okay, so a lot of these Bibles went on these slave ships during the age of conquest, where these Europeans are going everywhere because of what? Because of technology. They got these intercontinental ships, they got these sails, they got these navigational equipment, they got all these things that they would get from the Arabs. They would get that. Remember, the Arabs ushered them in to science. See, they so European. So when you say that's the white man's science, it's actually not. They actually got it from the Arabs. So where did the Arabs get it from? They formed this school called the House of Wisdom, right? This House of Wisdom is like a translating house, and they go back into the Greek documents, okay, Egyptian literature, and they translate that, and then they add to it. And this is when the Arabs reached the golden age. It's called the golden age of science and technology. Simultaneously, you find that golden age in West Africa too. So these Africans running into these Arabs, they catch on immediately, and they start doing their thing. Timbuktu, you know, them school, gin, all that stuff like that. Right, John Henry Clark talks about that. So that printing press, okay, is the reason why, and slavery is the reason why we Christians. And if you was a Muslim, right, so a lot of the slaves were Muslims because they was enslaved by the Arabs 800 years prior to that. So this whole thing talking about God and all that, and Islam, Christianity, was really based off of slavery. And people would debate that back and forth, but knock it off, because we had systems in place prior to Islam coming, and prior to Christianity coming, and prior to Judaism. We had these systems in place, these social structures, these concepts, these ideas that allowed us to survive and be some of the oldest people on planet Earth, 350,000 years prior to any genes mutating for pale skin as human beings leave out of Africa. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and it's scientific. But go ahead, brother. I just wanted to warm the crowd up, get them going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you do your thing, and I'm gonna be short with the answers so we can roll it in. But yeah, that word God, that's how we got that. We got that right there, because you didn't say kulu kulu. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear you say Ifa, Yoruba. Didn't say it. You went right to what we comfortable with. But go ahead, though. Let's go.
Right. You're right. You're right. So, thank you. And I appreciate that, man. That was a lot of game.
Yep. They can rewind it.
They will. And I will too, a couple of times. So basically in that video that I had, Egyptologist finally admits that, you know, the ancient Egyptians were black, whatever. I was talking about UNESCO, and I was using the term black. And you basically schooled me, and I want you to, you know, put it out there on where I went wrong, add the information in it, because you know more about that to me with UNESCO and Dr. Benga and Sheikh. And, you know, I just want you to elaborate more on that, and, you know, let me know where I went wrong at, you know.
Okay. This is where you went wrong at. You went wrong right here. This is where you shot yourself in the foot.
Cool.
Let me see. All right. Let me pull this up. The race question. Let's see. 1950. All right. I'm gonna see which one I'm gonna put up for the people. And that's a great segue right there. Okay, so all right. What I want to do is in July 1950. Let me click this on. Hold on. July 1950. All right. Let me see. Oh man, Declaration. Okay, so we got two things going on here. All right, let me see. I'm gonna get the 1978 statement up. Okay. Okay, let me get that. Got that one. All right. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me see. Do they got the date on here? I want to see they got the date on here. All right, where's the date? Where's the date? This is important. Okay, all right. All right, let me share the screen. Let me get, okay, we good. Right where we need to be. Perfect. Why, when you talked about what UNESCO did, what's wrong?
Because I was.
But it wasn't your fault because you got it honest like me. We got it honest. We listened to John Henry Clark. Dr. Ben, and then we listened to people talking about Dr. Ben and them say this. Shit, Andy Diop still file banging, and they always leave out Walter Rodney. They always leave out Walter Rodney. Look, listen, look, okay, look, there you go. I got the book. I don't believe, I'm a skeptic. Look, it says the late Professor Shikant Diop's 1971, 1986, deceased in 1986. You see that? Can we see it, right? It's highlighted. See that?
Yeah, I see it highlighted in the bottom.
He's right there, right? You can see Diop's, right?
Yes.
All right. And then if I turn the page, right? That's how you know Dr. Ben wasn't in UNESCO. You don't see his name and none of that.
Correct.
Right? Then you got a Professor Theophile Banger, Republic of the Congo, 1978, 75. All right. See him. He's still living. See it? See his name?
That's right. It's highlighted.
Right. Now, right here, the late Professor Walter Rodney, deceased 1980. Look, why they never mentioned him, dude?
Wow, it's highlighted.
Yeah, he wrote How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. It's this book right here. So we got the book. Get the book. It's a 9-volume set. UNESCO wrote it. So before we get there, let's get to the mistake you made. You said it was 3 Africans. What you say?
Yeah, I said it was supposed to be 2, and then the rest, the Asians and Europeans.
Yeah, one third of them was African, and so Africans around the globe because they wanted them to actually. You got Senegal, you got Zambia. Let me see, Zimbabwe. You got Professor Curtin, USA. Oh man, you got France, you got Cuba, you got Morocco, you got Tunisia, you got the Federal Republic of Germany, you got Ethiopia, you got Mali, you got Libya. Yeah, bro. So don't let them ever get this stuff for yourself. You can get all these different names on here, bro. You got people from Germany, plenty of Africans. 1/3 of them was African because what they wanted to do was they wanted them to tell a story. That's what UNESCO wanted to do. They let me, how about letting them have agency over their story. Now, this is important. People will fake you out with the agency part. We supposed to have agency. Right them to the point where you start making up stuff. We don't want that kind of agency. We want scientific agency. So Africans have the right to tell a story as long as they're using science to tell it. Don't start just, so see, we can separate your cultural stories and we respect that. We respect cultural stories, just like the Hebrew is a cultural story, but don't make it the whole world. Now we got an issue. Because now you're telling me they told a story about the whole world before they even knew about the whole world. How could the Hebrews at 300 BCE or whatever, right? How could they write a story about the world? How could the story be about the world when they never seen the world? They didn't know about no continents. They didn't know where they was at. You know what I'm saying? You had to circumnavigate the globe to know where you was at.
Right.
They didn't even measure the earth. You can go in Egypt, and I forget the Greek that actually did it in Egypt. He figured out the circumference of the earth. So no, they didn't know about the earth, none of that. So the Bible is a story about an area of people and their experiences with other human beings and what they decided to deify. Concepts and ideas, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with you now. You can accept it because that's what humans do. We accept that stuff. It's okay, right? So back to the conference now. So we know it wasn't 3.
Obvious, yes.
It was 1/3 of it was Africans. And it was a scientific conference. So no scientific conference is going to start talking about the Egyptians was black. Because why? Because they made a statement. Look, here you go. Here you go. Here's the answer to your question. I went the long way for you.
Thank you. I needed that.
All right. So you see it, right?
Yeah.
That's UNESCO.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fallacies of racism exposed. UNESCO publishes a declaration by world scientists. What's that date?
I can't really say. It look like April. Is it April?
1950.
19. Yeah.
It's 1950.
Damn.
Yeah, it's 1950. So in 1950, we talking 1950. They was past that spot. And let me see. Make it bigger. Is that bigger?
Yeah. That's
good. That's good.
Yeah. July, August 1950. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the seal. Look, come on, man. So we not, and they got it in the magazine, Fallacies of Racism. You can download that. Here, everybody that want to be a part of the learning game, y'all know what it is. Go ahead, you put your iPhone up there. Go ahead, get that. Put that in your folder, man. Put that in your pseudo killer folder, real black atheist folder. Go put that in there. All right. And title it this show. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to my man channel, man. Appreciate everybody that's in the Discord. What's up to everybody? I know y'all in the Discord, man. I see y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tuning into the Discord, man. So there you go, right there. 1950, fallacy. It say more than 50 years ago, men and women of goodwill proposed to publish an international declaration which would expose racial discrimination and racial hatred as unscientific and false, as well as ugly and inhumane. The world, look, watch this. The world at that time was running downhill towards World War II. Okay. And so-called practical considerations prevented publication of the statement, even if they could not prevent the war. So you already know the war was over. The fake racial construct. Remember, Hitler said he had the master race. Yeah. Remember, he figured it out. And guess what? He thought it was the master race until the Olympics came. And they was like, we got the blonde hair and the blue eyes. They the master race. Now, Hitler himself wasn't none of that. He wasn't blonde hair, none of that. Had the dark hair and the dark eyes. But he said, I got the master race and I'm going to prove it. So that whole daggone Olympic game, Hitler was there to prove because it was in Germany, right? They was proving that it was the master race. And they had everybody going, bro. And to that gun said, pow. When Jesse Owens lined up against the Germans and that gun said, pow, and he smoked them. Man, Hitler was like, oh man, it's over with. When he broke Olympic records. He had on Adidas on his feet. Adidas ain't sold no less than 100,000 pair of shoes ever since Jesse Owens beat all the white boys. It's the funniest thing ever. And that's how we know it's a racial construct. It's a racial construct, one, because the world scientists says so. And just because you sitting down on YouTube or TikTok think you know what you're talking about, no, the community of scientists, which is different from the everyday people, says race is a social construct. You know why? Let me see. That's what I want to put up on y'all. Because y'all don't got one of these in your house. You ain't reading this. You ain't showing your kids this. Darwin, the voyage of the beagle. All you learn, Darwin was racist. Darwin, yeah, he might have just been racist. But let me tell you something he did that I wouldn't have did, and I don't think you would have did it. Now imagine being in the time period of 18-something, and you're on a boat, and you circumnavigating the globe, and you get in a debate with the captain of the boat over black people. And you, Darwin, you saying, man, you can't treat them like that. Darwin was trying to explain as he circumnavigated the globe that all indigenous people that he ran into, right? Now watch this word gonna get you. He said they were savages, okay? And he said, but given time to learn our language and to learn things we're doing, they could do it just as good as we do it. So there's a problem right now. Why would he call them savages? Well, in the 1800s or so, what did the word savage mean? It didn't mean like we thought it meant. It simply meant that you didn't have the technology that they had. So it's kind of hard for a person right now, if you was to go to, say, the Amazon somewhere or the Adamese Island, right? And say you pick up one of them chicks, right?
Yeah.
And you brought her back home. You're gonna say, look, yo, you gotta put some shoes on, yo. You just do your hair a little bit. Won't you just say, look, you ain't got no shoes, you gotta get them feet done. You're not gonna say you good, right?
Correct.
Because there's a cultural gap right there, and we feel that we like to feel the soft feet. You put on, don't be, you can't be naked. Right? We like to smell a little perfume. We don't want to smell the jungle or the forest, right? Let me correct that. There's not a lot of jungles in Africa. They're actually forests. So that's a misnomer, saying it was jungles. The jungles are in Asia, Vietnam. There's with the jungle. A jungle can be created in small sections of a forest when the forest canopy is broken open, maybe a storm or something, and a lot of light come in and a lot of vegetation grow, and that particular area becomes a jungle. So for the majority of Africa, there are no jungles. You know how they got Tarzan, the king of the jungle. How's you the king of the jungle? Ain't no jungles in Africa. But the point I'm trying to make here, there was a cultural gap in technology and a cultural gap in things, and to them, arrogant Europeans, called you savages. We thinking, oh man, you said we savages because we stink, we filthy. That ain't what that word is. Not, I can show the documentation and say that's not what it meant. But the religious amongst us will use that statement to say, well, Darwin is racist. But let me show you, okay, maybe he might have been. I don't know. I'm not in that man's head. He used the language of the day. So that's just like saying, use the word, yo, what's up, yo? And then 500 years later, I say you sold dope. Because people that sell dope say, yo, what's up, yo? Yo, go get that pack, bro. You ain't talking about that. Get the pack of books, right? Because you don't sell no dope. You get the point I'm making?
Right.
And you just use the word, yo, that doesn't mean that you're part of that thing. So just because you use the language of the day doesn't mean that. So we can show what he actually did. You in the middle of nowhere, okay? And you arguing with the captain of the ship on how intelligent he said, like, well, when Julius Caesar and them, or when a great Roman emperor jumps off a cliff to save his life, or when a Japanese, take his life, you don't see that to be barbaric, right? But when a black woman jumps off of a ship because she don't want to be enslaved, you think she's crazy and ignorant. Why is that? He says the way you look at it, and they be like, I don't want to hear all that. And they arguing in the middle of nowhere. He was about to get put off the boat. Now, ain't no other boats coming because it ain't that type of world. So I'm saying if it was me, I wouldn't have argued with that man. I'd have waited till we got back to the United States, then I'd have punched him in the mouth. I wouldn't have debated. I wouldn't have argued with him. He was almost got put off that boat. So what I'm saying is that whatever we may think of Darwin, he never supported slavery, never did, okay? And how do we know? Because his grandfather started the abolitionist movement. His wife was an abolitionist. Darwin himself was that. So you're not going to tell me if a person think we should never be enslaved, because he was a monogenist, right? He was a Christian at first, okay? Later on in his life, he got away from it once he discovered that biological human evolution, right? But he was a monogenist. To him and his upbringing, okay, the reason they started abolitional movements is because he said that they believe that God made man and made that man and a woman, and now that man and a woman, the other races came, so they the same. They shouldn't be treated differently. Look it up, monogenous. He was saying it was one genus for humanity, not 2, 3, 4. Remember them days they had the 5 races. Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Negroid, Oceania, and what I miss?
Right, Oceania.
Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Oceania, Negroid. There's one more. We got the Chinese, we got the Oceania. We miss who? We missing? No, it's 5. I cannot believe this. Got to be 5. Mongoloid, Caucasoid.
Yeah, you would know more than me. You definitely know
Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Negroid, Oceania. And I just got to be one. It's 5. It's 5. I don't know which one. It'll come back to me. I can't believe I slipped on that. Slipped on the banana. That's all right. But I'm saying that, right? The point I want to make here about we got to have these books in here, right? Because we want to be able to tell our story. And for us to tell our story accurately, we should have the fundamental understanding of biological human evolution. The book he wrote, okay, The Origin of the Species, is the foundation of modern biology. And so your question that you asked me about them saying they agreed that Jesus was Black, they couldn't have said that because they said that was a faulty premise from the start. And you would never acquiesce to a faulty premise in a scientific conference and make a slip and say they was white or Black. So when the combatants came to debate whether they was white, they threw that away right off the top. They say, we ain't arguing. Nope, that's just stupid, right? We ain't doing that. But Diaz, come, let's see what you got, right? Theophile, what y'all got? And those and they went in and it was an excellent conversation. Diaz said that the Negro was there from the beginning into around maybe the invasion and kind of pushed them down all the way up to the 18th dynasty. You get some of your first invasions supposedly came in and pushed them out. They was like, no. So they never agreed to that. What they said was that this is what they agreed to. This is what the conclusion was, right? They said that the ancient Egyptians is a homegrown indigenous population. Homegrown indigenous Africans. So that's a win. See? Now they saying they Africans. Before that, they Mesopotamian, they come, they mix it in the Mesopotamian, they come from the Mediterranean, all that, right? But at the conference, they cleaned it up. They was like, nah, they indigenous Africans. They homegrown they Africans. Ranging in all, they not Black, they not white. They range in all skin colors from light to dark. That was the conclusion. Now, 30, 40, 50, 67 years later, right, you get the Brooklyn Museum talk about the Green Sahara and the indigenous Africans, the homegrown indigenous Africans, and say ain't no light-skinned outside people came in and made Egypt. Now they all in trouble. So we never, even in the Cairo symposium, they never ignored that there are going to be migrations in an area. It's called the area of confluence. So since prehistoric time, there's always have been humans traversing back and forth. Okay, so that's part of the game. So to be African is to be mixed, and most people don't get this statement because it's a counterintuitive statement. But you said was the original. Yes, we are the original. We the original mixed people on planet Earth. What do you mean? Because we are the most diversified gene pool on planet Earth. So to be the most diversified gene pool on planet Earth, different mutations must have been mixing and matching. So there's a rule where you find the most diverse of something. Normally, that's where that comes from. So the most diverse gene pool of Homo sapiens sapiens is in Africa. So the answer to your question is no. They didn't say that. Diop's didn't win. What he did get off, though, let's see what he did get off.
Okay.
Let's see what he did. Let's see what it was. This is what it was. This is what they said. Hold on. This is what they said. Let me see if I can find it. Man, I know I can better put. Hold on. Conclusion, nature and the raw. Nah. Cartoon. Hold on. Let me see. I got off the top of my head, but I want to kind of show y'all what they were saying was he overwhelmed them. He hit them with the interdisciplinary studies. He came with the Bible. He came with the melanin dose testing. He came with anthropology, bones, right? And he had a lot of different things, and they wasn't prepared for that. They was only prepared to argue a few things, and he came with all that. And so they say, hold on, yo, let's chill for a minute, bro. Hold on, yo, y'all did. They ain't stupid. They were like, we not ready for all that. Yeah. They said the Delphi Bang and Stanley Diaz was the most prepared out of everybody. So they kind of introduced interdisciplinary studies to the world. That's important. That's more important than them winning. Now we can use all the different tools. They didn't even think about using them different things like that. That's what they brought to the world. Was bringing them to even take a good hard look at Africa and say, yo, well, over here in West Africa, East Africa, they got this, that kind of looked like that, this, that, the other. The Wolof was this, that, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of what, man, they hit them, man, listen, they went over top of their head, but they weren't done. They were like, I hear you. We're going to hold up on all that, right? We hear you. And it was a great conversation, but as far as them winning, no, that's not what they did was they made the world recognize that, yo, we need that. We just not running through these Africans like that, right? And they bringing in another course of study that we wasn't thinking about. That was incredible. Like, man, y'all really did that. I'm gonna find that before we get off this joint. I promise you, yo, because that was a powerful statement right there. It might be in the blue one. I don't know. But go ahead to your next question. So that's the question about that. I went down there. I had a little storytelling. I learned that from Professor Smalls and them. You know what I mean? You tell a little story with that, add some flavor to it so we can get the big picture. Make more sense because science is kind of boring. Just talking straight history a little bit. Let's keep it a buck. It's kind of boring. It is. Okay. But no, they didn't win that. Like we was taught.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Homo sapiens sapiens at 250,000 years. They were like, you can't prove that. Yeah, he was like, what are you talking about? They never left the Homo sapiens. He said the Homo sapiens sapien was on the Nile at 250,000 years. They was like, what? You tripping? Yeah, he got him on that one because he said, wait a minute, I got the tools. He said, you wouldn't know that. But now we know that, yeah, Homo sapiens sapien was on the Nile that early. He was right. Yeah, before they even left out of Africa. And they never left. So I'm going to tell you right now that the population that's in the Nile right now, right, is the same population that was there before. Now, of course, you got different people migrating in, mixing and matching. That's cool. Any mixing and matching that took place in Africa proper, right? But that population that you look at and you say, they look like Arabs. They the same people, bro. As you go down deep into the sun belt, to the equator, those people they darken up. Variation of phenotypes, right? That's what it is. But they're fundamentally the same. They're not Arabs, they're Egyptians, right? See, we got stuck on that racism. That scientific racism made you think that you got to be as dark as you, right? All right. You got to have the wide lips like me, thick wide lips though, okay? and you got to have the peppercorn hair. That's African. That's right. Not true. That's not true. That's a lie. That's called racism, white supremacy. That's not true. Nature don't make nothing. You can go outside and look at a tree right now, and it's not going to be one green. It's going to be variations of green because variations rule the day. But go ahead, ask me the next question, man. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's what I would have got you with if we'd have had that debate. I'd have got you right there.
Oh, no, you would have listened, man. You listen. Like I said, man, I'm a student when it comes to you, man. I just, that's why I listen. I'm just
tried your hand.
and you giving this knowledge, man, that I need other people listening right now. They need taking this. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you definitely for this, man. You know, and if I'm gonna get schooled, I'd rather have you do it. You know, I appreciate that. You know.
Oh yeah, yo, we school each other, man. It's things you know that I don't know, yo. So we help each other.
Yeah. A question just popped up in my head about Darwin, and you know, you talk about him being racist. You know, well, they say he's racist and stuff like that. I was reading something in the Smithsonian magazine. They wrote an article, and you know, I'm on my phone, so I can't. But I'm gonna put the link. Put the link so people see the link. Trust me, I'm gonna put the link in, after so people can see it. And it was an article on January 30th of this year. And you know, these scientists and eugenics, they talk about, they issue an apology, talking about how they use science to, to discriminate against Black people. They broke up sickle cell in the 1960s and all these different things, how they use science to be racist. So if I'm a Black person, if I'm an African, right? What should I lean on science as my answer to certain things, knowing that science was used to make me seem less than or as inferior, or to have these lies perpetuated about me, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
It was pseudoscience that said that. That wasn't science.
Okay.
And the tool that overthrew that was science.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't even have known about it if it wasn't for science. You'd have thought that was real. You thought it was legitimate because it sounded good. It looked good. It was $1 billion, and it was the global economy. It was the foundation of the global economy, bro. That pseudoscientific idea that because of the color of your skin, you're less than human. That's all human beings, ALL, are 99.99% the same. I don't care. Your eyes is lying to you when you look at a white person or a Chinese person. They're lying to you. Lying. Got you thinking they a whole different human being. Nope. Just a mutation here, a mutation there. Lying to you, 99%. How you know? Because we can have babies. That's the trick. You can't have babies with no gorillas.
Definitely can't.
Right? None of that. Tigers and lions can bear. They force tigers and lions together to get alike. They got to force that. Okay, but if the genes are close enough for it to be able to, but they sterile when they have babies, sterile. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just like Neanderthal and Homo sapiens sapiens, when they mixed, I believe the men was sterile. You know what I'm saying? When the baby came out, it was a male. It's either one of them. The male was sterile, the female wasn't. So the female, right, could actually have a baby, but the male couldn't impregnate a Neanderthal male couldn't impregnate, an African woman. The baby that came out, that if it was a male, that's it. That's it. Right? And so, no, it was pseudoscience though, bro.
Okay.
All right. And eugenics and all that, that's Galton. Galton was the second cousin of Charles Darwin. He misread the man's work, yo. Oh, yeah, this. Darwin was like, nah, that ain't it. So they did not agree with each other. He goes on to start the eugenic movement, which was pseudoscience at the time. Sounded good, right? Yeah, eugenics is stopping people from reproducing and all that based off this. It was wild. They still got some laws in place where you can, make people in prison sterile or something. It's archaic. But humans do a lot of archaic things. Some things are just archaic. I mean, I don't want to get all into it. You know what I'm saying? Bring certain things in, but our thinking is archaic. The way we treat our women is archaic. You know what I'm saying? Like you act like it's the Stone Age. In the Stone Age, Black woman was very, very vulnerable in the Stone Age. When she got pregnant, 9 months, you vulnerable. You ain't outrunning nothing. You ain't climbing. You ain't doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Got 5. You ain't doing too much. You ain't doing all that. Right? So you're gonna need the males around. Just a little bit stronger, right? More muscular, okay? Real aggressive. You need that in the Stone Age. All right? How you gonna feed yourself when you just had a baby? You down for a month or so. Now they out the hospital in 3 days, they putting you out the hospital. That's modern technology. Yeah, you feel me? sew you up, blah, 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 blah. But you going through the womb, you know what I'm saying? The uterus opening up and all that. Man, woman is losing a lot of blood, animal smelling blood. Man, you need protection in the Stone Age. Tell you what, take that same black woman, give her a daggone gun rifle, machine gun, right? And some medical science and put it in the Stone Age. Right. Be like, back off, yo, I got this. See? So people don't get that. So we got to change our thinking, right? I done heard the conversation. I don't want to make this show about that, but I'm going to make a point. I don't want to mess up. I might mess up
go
something.
in, go in, man.
I'm just trying to make the point that it's 2023.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's a difference between want and a need. A woman don't need a man. She just wants a man. There's a difference there. Like, you don't need to drink. You don't need it. Like, you're not going to die, right? You're not going to die if you don't take a drink. You just want it. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between a want and need, and these archaic laws that they developed for the women was archaic. So they had to be in a house because they couldn't even get a job. You couldn't even get a house without a man. You couldn't get no credit, none of that. Remember, the Civil Rights Bill actually opened up women's rights when it got passed.
Right.
Right? They couldn't get certain jobs. You couldn't do this. You could only be a secretary. Nonsense. Right? Now technology, it's just what my point is. We got to change our think. I'm saying all this to say, man, that things are different. Times have changed. And us as African-American, strong Black men, we ain't mad. We ain't tripping off that. Yo, we love our women to the point where we get it. Right? Some situations, I'm best fit to lead. Some situations, she best fit to lead, right? And you'll figure that out in the middle of what y'all going through. I'm gonna tell you now, bro, like I got to the scientific religion, right? Religion, you know what I'm saying, was because of my wife. Because she was in the real shit. I was off in the cult somewhere. And she was like, looking, it sounds good, but look at these journals right here. The what? Let me see that. Oh. And early, I started typing. I was like, oh, I got him. But the men around me, they all gave me the normal. You know what I'm saying? They ain't put me with. So my point is, man, there's got to be my yacht, bro. And my yacht is balance, right? And to find that balance is essential. I don't know how we got here talking about that, but I just wanted to put that there every time I speak because you get, you know, we be tripping. We don't understand, right? We don't get our own. Let me see. What's the word I want to use? Privilege, right? Black men, we might not have as much privilege as white men, right? And maybe that's based off the way you think about it, because I don't like to give nobody power they don't deserve, right? But as men, we have privilege. And you know why?
Why?
Because God is a man. All you got to do is read the Lord. Hey, God said, let us make man in our image. So, and then God, you see that help meek? Ooh, you done. See a help meek, right? See a help meek now. Cleave. I'm going to take a rib out of you and make a woman, right? So fundamentally, mentally, we attached to these ideas that are very archaic, okay? But yet we, on the other hand, we fighting Black power, we Black, but then we still follow the tenets. We still have not gotten rid of that. And even when we say we're not Muslims and Christians no more, we take that same way of thinking into traditional custom and traditions. We do the same thing. And even when we get out of all that and we be super pseudo, we do the same thing, right? The new age movement, the goddesses, we overemphasize the goddesses, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Come on, man. Woman ain't doing that, but woman ain't having no kids without no man. You tripping. And the family is the best way to raise babies. And when I say the family, I mean aunts, uncles, cousins. You know what I'm saying? That's the strong, that's it. That's the power right there. We all chip in. We see, sometimes I can see something you can't see. aunt may see some behavior and you might need to change. She pull you up. Look what you're doing. Right? So yeah, we got all that from the Diops and all that. I don't know, but yeah, but go ahead though. That was funny.
Game.
That was funny. I just wanted to put that out there, man, because we got sisters watching, and it's important. We got men. Why they call me a simp? They try to say I'm simping. I was like, damn. I say, wow. I said, that's incredible to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always been, my mother was strong. When I say strong, I don't mean like, I mean, just like, for me, being strong is be able to change your condition and not fall prey. That's what I mean. I remember going from the hood, the ghetto, to the hood. The difference. The ghetto is the ghetto, like the ghetto, the mud, to the hood, right? To a decent community. And I seen her do it. I seen her go from walking. I was in the car when she was driving to try to get a license. And I seen her get cars and I seen her get raped and I seen her do it. So that's what I mean by strong. I don't mean that she cuss you out and do, nope, I don't mean that. That's not what I'm saying. Strong enough to fight the forces that want to oppress you and stop you from doing that. That's what I mean. So I just want to always have that message at the tip of my tongue. But go ahead though. What's your next question? So we had the Cairo symposium. You thought they won, they didn't win. It wasn't a win or lose conversation. It was a scientific consensus, right? So everybody throw their ideas into the table and they work them out based off of science and they come up with a general consensus. And the consensus at the Cairo symposium was that they wasn't black nor white, but they was indigenous African, ranging in skin colors from light to dark. That was the conclusion. Different phenotypes. That's it. That's the answer. The black community took that and ran with it. They was black. The Diops won and defeated. Nope, that ain't what it said. Stop lying. Stop playing. We want the truth. We can handle the truth. We big boys.
You're right about that. But unfortunately, still it's down to black. And you know that. It's down to black and white. That's what they want to hear and whatever. But I'm glad you corrected me on that. Like I said, if I put it out there, I got to be corrected and be
read it first.
Humbled and meek enough to accept
that.
Well,
just read it. Just type in one day for yourself, right? Support that. And I'm going to give everybody the source. It's called the Peopling of Africa. The Peopling of Africa. It didn't say what race. The Peopling of Egypt. It didn't say the race of Egyptians. It said the peopling. They was just talking about people. They would see, why didn't they use the word race? Because they wrote a statement in 1950 in July. Right? 1950, that it was a pseudoscientific concept. So they wouldn't have been talking about it. They wouldn't have agreed to that. See how that nullified that? They wouldn't have been talking about that. Okay. So, 1950, that's what it is. And yeah, people gonna talk that talk, right? But they ain't gonna be able to show this. So get it. The Peopling of Egypt and the decipherment of the Meretic script. Read it for yourself. It's right there. Everything you need to know.
I'm happy you brought up Meretic script. We had this conversation. Now, I told you this before.
Funny guy.
School. Yeah. We laughed about it. I went to school. I was gonna ask a different question, but since you brought that up, I'm gonna bring that in. Now, I told you I went to school with this brother from Sudan. So he had this conversation with me. I think it was probably last year or something like that. Maybe a year before. I can't remember. I think it was last year. And we was just talking about Egypt and different things. And then he talked about Nubia and all these other stuff. And he said, hey, Ty, listen, they say that Meroitic language, that it's extinct. It's no more. It's not there. And whatever.
Meroitic script. Yeah, Meroitic script.
Yeah.
They trying to decipher. I don't think they deciphered all of it. No, but go ahead.
And he's saying that, but if you go to Sudan right now, there are people in villages in Sudan where people still speak that language. They're right there. They're indigenous, et cetera, which proves all these other things. Do you know anything about that? Is he talking truth?
Did he say something about the Egyptian language or just the Meretic script?
He said the Meretic script. He said
that's a script. That's a written language. He's saying
the language is supposed to be extinct, but it's not. People in Sudan still speak in the villages, in the local villages. They still, if you go there, they still speak there. You know,
but it's not Meretic. It's not a language. It's a script. It's a writing script.
Oh, okay.
So he tripping right off the bat. Man, is they writing in Meretic script? That's what we want to know, man.
So he was lying to me. So he was all right. So he was lying. Okay, I didn't know.
How they still speaking a written script? It's written script, yo. So we speak English.
Yeah.
We speak English, right?
Correct.
But what do we write in?
Now I get it.
We don't write English.
We don't write English.
But it's Latin, a Latin script. Come on, man. Like, stop it. See how they try to get us?
See, he got me. Listen, he got me.
English don't have a written script.
Yeah. Correct.
They got you out there tripping. Tell them stop. Say stop tripping, man. Can they write them already?
Joe, stop tripping, man. No, you see that?
Hey, Joe, knock it off, man. Knock it off, Joe.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. That's funny. They're still in the villages, so you need to. So, Joe, go get one of them and go get your money. Y'all get some money. Get one of them people that's writing them already script. Yo, go to the site there. I guarantee you be in all the museum tours. Yo, get money. Your family will always eat. Matter of fact, you'll raise your whole village up. Make a museum. They got it. Right. Come on, man. Stop it. They couldn't figure it out at the Cairo symposium. You can look it up. Some of us kind of deciphered. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have the smoking gun. The smoking gun for the Meta Netia was the Rosetta Stone, which has those 3 different scripts on it. It had a Greek script, it had the hieratic script, and it had the Meta Netia script. So it was giving you a message. All right. And they had, right? So they had Egyptian speakers and they had Greek speakers, and they wanted to relay that message to both of them. So that was the smoking gun. When they found the daggone thing, let me see, do I have it right here? They found it. It gave them the ability to, do what they do. Let me see. Yeah, I put that in the thing. I don't have it right here, but it's called the hold on, let me see. I might be able to. Let me see real fast. Just real quick for you. Let me see. I might be able to pull this out right. Just show you what it looked like. It's just a. No. Let me see. Yeah, if you just go to you go to the British Museum, here you go. I'm gonna show you, real simple. Goodness gracious. Let me share my screen for you so you can see it. I want you to get to your next question. Let me share the screen. Just show you what it look like. They haven't found something like this for the Meretic script. All right, you see it?
Correct. Everything you wanted to know about the Rosetta Stone.
Mm-hmm.
British Museum. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in your folder. Y'all use your iPhones, y'all know what it is, man.
Yeah.
There you go. It's right there. And so they haven't found this yet. See, here you go. This is actually the whole Stella. See? They got a piece of it. And at the top, from top to bottom, that's the Meta Netia. Broken, it said the Rosetta Stone was broken and incomplete. It features 14 lines, the hieroglyphic script, just like I said. All right. They call that the Meta Netia. You see it? The signs, the symbols, right? Then 32 lines are the demonic. I said it was the hieratic. It's the demonic, which is nothing but a cursive form of this. Just like A, you can write A or you write a cursive A. Okay? Then the highly cursive form of it is the hieratic. Just like you can't even read Benjamin Franklin cursive. He's so highly cursive, right? And then the last one is here you go, 54 lines of the ancient Greek. There you go. The importance of this to Egyptology is immense. When it was discovered, nobody knew how to read the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs Because the inscriptions say the same thing in 3 different scripts, the scholars could still read ancient Greek. The Rosetta Stone became a valuable key to deciphering the hieroglyphics. Simple as that. This is the smoking gun. They don't have that for the Meretic script. Right. That's why they don't know. They don't know a lot about it. Because they don't got, because you learn in history when people say that Meta Neter, this right here, the Meta Neter, has not been deciphered. It's crazy because you talk about Egypt all the time. So how the Meta Neter ain't been deciphered when your conversation about it? You wouldn't know nothing about it if you couldn't decipher the English, the Latin script in English, then you wouldn't know nothing about American history. You just be guessing, putting stuff together. You be guessing. But anyway, next question.
Yeah, I don't want to say pushback, but my thing to that is I seen a video with Saletta, and he was had Professor Walter Williams on there. Walter Williams said that the hieroglyphs have not been deciphered and not been, to that you say what?
To that I say the British Museum got you beat, man. Ain't that 80 blind quibbler crazy? You pseudo.
That's old school.
I love my elders. I love my elders so much, right? That I stand on their shoulders. I'm not standing there looking Walter Williams in his eyes. Because I read your book, Walter. Mr. Williams, I read your books. I got your books. I contributed to you. You feel me? Let me look him in his face. I have contributed to you. If you happen to watch this, I have contributed to you. I appreciate your elevation of my mind and the things that you said. But now I'm standing on your shoulders and I'm looking and saying, yo, you messed that piece up right there, bro. You're wrong. And if he can't take that, or if his followers can't take that, then they just can't take that. I'm being respectful as possible. Ain't no need a plan. He's just wrong. I don't want us running around being silly. You can go to it. He ain't gonna be better than the encyclopedia. You ain't gonna be better than the people who act. You got Black people who study Egyptology, right? Africans. Nobody says that, but this particular community. I'm not saying you're part of that, but I'm just making a point here that the civilized world don't say that. The scientific community don't say that. You talk too much about Egypt, and the only reason we know about Egypt is because they deciphered the daggone thing. It wasn't a secret. So people act like it's a secret language. It's a secret script. No, they wrote it so people could read it. You get that?
I get it.
They didn't write it to be a secret, yo. I done heard them say the secret language. No, it was secret to the Romans, to the Roman Catholic Church and them. They was making a mistake. This is what they was doing. They wasn't thinking that those dark to brown skinned people even had a written language. Let's get that straight. So for years, yo, they was acting like it was a symbol. Here's the thing. So if it's a symbol, right, and you find it 500 years later, how you know what that means? You would have to ask the person who wrote the symbol. Okay, yeah, if it was a symbol, but it wasn't a symbol. It was actually, it's a sound, just like this right here. Look. Look, what is this? This. It's a symbol, right?
Yes.
But it's a sound attributed to the symbol. And we say A. It's a sound, right? That's actually the first letter, right? That would be the first, okay? And that's actually a bull horns. It's a bull. A bull is the head. So like in Greek, you got an aleph, right? Alpha. And in Hebrew, you got an aleph. But it all comes from the bull. That's in the Meta Neter. You'll see the symbol of a bull head. Later on, that bull head will end up being an A with a sound attributed to it. So when they start to realize it, wait a minute, they found that they was like, I think it might be a written language. It's not some, it has sounds to it. That's when it opened up. And then they started treating it like they treat all languages that they written scripts they trying to decipher. But before that, they was putting Egyptica. They was putting sounds to it, and the hawk was a bird. It meant hawk. I mean, you could fly high and all. They did all that. Yeah, Infidisi say that. The hawk. They showed the hawk because it could see. Right? Crazy. No, man. The bird, it was a symbol of a bird, but it had a sound corresponded to it, just like the A, B, C, D. They're all symbols. This is a symbol. The B is a daggone. It's a symbol, right, with a sound attributed to it. That is still a symbol with a sound attributed to it. B. That's how it was with the meta-nature. Those symbols had sounds attributed to it. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, Walter, that's my man. Yo, he wrong it too. He ran down the street with 2 left feet on. You know how a person got the 2 shoes on the left foot and they come outside. You're like, yo, you got your shoes on the wrong foot. Yeah, he got his shoes on the wrong foot. He don't mean it though. We gonna give him a pass though. He good dude, man. Definitely one of my early teachers.
Yeah, he did. I seen it and I was like, oh man, I saw that video. And
then he's sharp. He's sharp enough to get you. Well, then, how did you? I don't know that answer to that question, but I know that meta-nature decipher though.
Yeah. Correct.
I was like, well, I don't know that. I'm not even saying I know more than the man. I'm saying that the meta-nature been deciphered. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so I'm here. Go ahead.
That's great. That's great. Now, I hear you talk a lot about meta-nature, and you even said one time, Nile Valley, culture. What is, because you hear so many definitions and terms, what is Nile Valley culture? And real quick, what is meta-nature? For the people that's listening that never heard it before.
Meta-nature is the words of the gods. Nature is the word for God, translated God. Right? I say it's nature, the words of nature. Nature, Ru. All right. The words of words of nature.
Okay, words of nature. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
mean, I've heard it, but just in case people never heard, because you said it many times, just in case somebody's listening, like, well, I never. So that's why I wanted you to explain that.
Yeah, but they're gonna say the words of God, but nature could be, equivalent to like nature, because it's a flag, right? And you have a couple flags when you're talking about a couple. So I'm thinking it's land resources, right? That's what I'm thinking. But hey, I can kind of collaborate that a little bit. Nature. Neutral, where you get the word neutral and all that stuff like that. So it was kind of like they was talking about, signs and symbols in nature, because it's made up of the signs and symbols in nature. Everything you see, the bull, the bird, the cat, the roach, the bumblebee, you find it in nature. Deep. Yeah. Thousands of symbols with sounds. All right. And is serious. It's very, very serious. And, out of that, you get the alphabet. Most people don't know that. Proto-Sinaitic, the alphabetic script. So it's a condensed version of it. And you get your 26 characters out of that. Later on, going to become the alphabet. Out of that. So that's why I'm saying it was fit, right, to do other things. I'm not saying they knew that. I'm not sitting up here saying that they knew that was going to be. No, what I'm saying is this is where you get your alphabet from. It's the Proto-Sinaitic. And the Proto-Sinaitic goes back to the hieroglyphics. You can look that up. Yeah, that's easy work. And then later on you get Old Hebrew and all that. And this is where you get the Hebrew language, the Hebrew script. Old Hebrew, then Hebrew. Yeah. So I don't know. That's why I made the joke. You mean God ain't give them a script? Why you gotta get it from the pagans? It's just funny to me. It's funny. See? Anyway.
Gang. All right, so Max, this is a little personal question.
What's up?
At what point in your life, what was the turning point in your life and where you wanted to learn all this information? Basically, why did you want to learn this information? With everything that you know now, what happened I did something
to hip hop.
happen, you know.
Listening to hip hop.
Really?
Yeah. Early hip
Oh
hop.
yeah,
Tribe
yeah, I
Called
remember. I'm
Quest,
a little bit young. Yeah, I'm like,
Public Enemy, KRS-One,
yeah,
KRS-One, knowledge
that's right.
reigns supreme over every nearly one.
That's
Now I
right.
realize he's pseudo. Hey, I'm just saying, once you get to the level, see, the level is scientific literacy. So like if anyway, I don't go down the road. The point is, yeah, it was hip hop when they were saying Jesus was black and all that. Then I got an Anthony Broader book, the Broader Files. I read that. All right. Nile Valley Civilization. Anthony Broad, I read that. And yeah, it was off. I was off and running. And this is when I came out the Marine Corps, kind of sort of, right? In 1985, came out of high school. All right. Your hip hop and get out of the ring. And I'm starting to read that. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And then let me see, go through some things. I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, then I end up in a cult. Okay. That's an important point. And that has fueled me to do what I'm doing now, so that no African American, Black American, right, will find their babies in a cult, right? Because that's serious. And now they got the online cults. You got to be careful for that, where they get your resources, your money, and all that. They claim to be sending you stuff. However it is, it's a cult, and you can tell a cult because they either gonna have a funny hat on. They're gonna dress up in costumes. Listen to me. Listen, man. It's 2023. And I'm just trying to give you don't got to have no serious education on what I'm talking about. You don't got to be scientific. But if you got a group of people dressed up like some Hebrews, you know that's a problem. Yeah, you dressed up like Power Rangers. Like you can't even read that they was dressed up like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, they got the lucky tweet. Kyrie Irving tweeted them out. But look at the way they dress. So if you was an ancient Hebrew, which ain't really ancient to me because I can go 160,000 years at Pentacle Point, South Africa. We can have a great conversation on that, right? But if you're talking 500 BCE, you talking way after Egypt, right? You talking Greece. The Greece society is 1000 BCE. Hebrews come after that. They Bronze Age. You got Bronze Age, Iron Age, Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, right? They got these settlements. You can these settlements, and you can look at how they grow. You know what I'm saying? How they ebb and flow, come and go. There ain't no kingdom or nothing. None of that. They knock it off. They just write that. They slick with that. Okay, but if you dressed up, you can read the Bible. Don't tell you how they was really actually dressed. I could pull up Shehu, right? I can pull him up. He's bowing down, prostrate to a Persian king, right? And you can see what he dressed in. None of that stuff they wearing. They got to knock it off, man, with the spikes and the hat. Come on, man. Leather. You doing it like that's not. Come on, man. These cults, they dress weird. That's your first sign. The first inkling. I'm not saying because you dress weird that you don't have an organization, but I'm saying that's the first sign. Like, can't nobody see y'all dressing wild? Somebody gotta say, yo, why you dressed like that, yo? I'm not saying that you can't be dressed normal and have a cult. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm giving you some keys. You say, oh, you tripping. I'm saying, no, I'm trying to give you the first inkling. Okay. Then they're gonna have these wild ideas. Oh, Black people's original Hebrews. But we got people, scholars, to say they ain't true. Right? You got to go to Ethiopia, and the Ethiopians, they're allowed into the country. They make them part of the tribe. Are you Ethiopian? No, I'm the African American. Stop it then. You coming from West Africa, Central Africa. You got to stop that.
Yeah.
See, you doing too much, and it's too much. You got to do, and it's the King James Bible. Wait a minute, the Hebrews wasn't writing in English? Why would King James be at the head of any Hebrew tradition? Like, it's some basic things that disqualify that. Right? Crazy. So I was in the cult for 5 years, Malachi York and them. Now, I didn't live on the land. Like, that was a little bit like, I'm never going that far. I'm going to make sure I can see across the street. Now, I might put my toenail over there, might buy the bugs, but I'm not. Everybody look a little hungry on that land. I don't know. Books is good, but I'm answering your question. How did I get started? This is where most of us get started, loving Black people and feeling like they lied to us. And we want to get our history because they hid our history. You see these books, they're hidden history. It's not hidden. It's in a secret vault called the library. Any major university, right, has a library of worth. This is where you will find your history. We read scholarly works like this. Look, Kwaku. Look, the life and letters of Kwaku, the first African Anglican missionary. Scholarly work on the subject, bro. Yeah, you get this Harvard, Yale, Morgan State University, yo, good libraries. You can rent them out. You can get it. They send you a copy. The Portuguese in West Africa, 15, 1670. Documentary history is documented with the sources and the references. Yo, we read this. It ain't never went nowhere, bro. The slave trade, I call it the kidnapping trade because you got kidnapping first, right? And kidnapping been illegal in all the books. You know, the Quran kidnapping is illegal. The Roman Empire kidnapping is illegal. The Greek is all illegal. Now, slavery legalized in Rome, legalized in Greece, legalized in Islam, is legal in Christianity, it's legal in Judaism because they God take you, right? That's why I'm a skeptic. Why is God saying it's cool to enslave people? Why would God say no? God know everything, right? So God is the author of slavery because he let it happen. See, it's a contradiction. Right? So we read the scholarly words. No history has been hidden from us. You just didn't know how to access it. And it makes sense. Like, you would have to go to a university to know how to do research. And most people don't go to university. So yes, it's not hidden. It's hidden in plain view. Go to the library. Any museum, shout out to Brother Reggie, any museum of worth has a library. Did you know museums had libraries in them?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have museums have libraries in them. Yeah, you can ask, can I get a library card for your museum? You get a library card. Can't take the books out, but you can read them in the library, in the museum.
I was just in Philly too. I didn't even. All right, yeah, and I went to Philly.
Go to the Pen.
I thought one of the brothers there told me that, but I wasn't paying no.
You go to the Pen. Yeah, go to the Pen. Nice museum. There you have it. So yeah, it's never been hidden. So be wary of books that say they're hidden in history. You're lying. It's not hidden. See? So I was in the cult that promoted that. I was in the cult that promoted the Black power. The white man is the devil. See? The white man is the devil. Right? So got you. So if the white man is the devil, and they also promoted that the African people was the greatest people on planet Earth, we do no wrong, right? How is it that the greatest people known to mankind, the gods, that floated on air, how did the gods, we was gods, get conquered by the devil? Something wrong somewhere. Somebody lying. Either we not gods and we just human beings, and white people ain't the devil, they just human beings, and all of us is having a human experience trying to figure each other out, in the course of time, kill each other, love each other, hate each other, develop different tribes, develop different ideas and concepts. So what we should always be looking for is, what was the culture that I came from? How did they react to certain situations? Can I take this piece? Should I leave that piece alone? You can't bring everything forward. you be back in the Stone Age. I never advocate us being in the damn Stone Age because we space age Africans, because we're in the space age. We're in the age of space. Human beings have went interstellar. Back in the 1960s, they sent the probe out, right? Shout out to the pseudo killers, Anthony Bowman, right? Space Age African Astronomy Club. All y'all gotta do is get a telescope, right? Y'all can be part of the club. They sent the probe out and it's left the gravitational field of the sun. We're actually in the bubble. We're in the gravitational field of the sun. But they sent the probe and it's between stars. Interstellar, 2 probes, as a matter of fact. Interstellar. We're in a space age. We're not in the Stone Age. The thing that made you great in the Stone Age make you feeble in the space age. So we got that thing the Egyptians had. They be saying, yo, the old is the best. Yo, the old might not be the best. Because I know I don't want to take a covered wagon from California to New York.
Correct.
Yeah, that'll slide us into the vaccine conversation right there.
Oh,
that's that technology. How long man, I had a man last night, man. I can't think of his name, man. Goodness gracious, I forget his name. He started a community down here, Freedom Land or something, Freedom Citizens or something. And you know,
I saw that. I seen that. Yeah, they were like 94 acres. Yeah.
So this is my thing. Let me ask him a question. See, I can already. This ain't no shot at you. It's not. But you can. There's certain questions you can ask, right? That you can judge, right? A person's acclimate to be able to grasp a counterintuitive idea. Like, so that vaccine thing, yo, you be like, they're gonna stick me in the arm, these white people. Tuskegee, that man said, I was raised in Tuskegee. I would never put nothing in my arm. I'm like, wow, dude. I don't want you to hear my community. Because you can't make the right choice, right? In the time, when the last time we needed Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, great leaders, when the last time we really needed them since Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and them? When that damn pandemic hit, yo, we needed somebody to right the ship because we was out of control. As a matter of fact, not just Black people, white people was superior out of control with the foolery. Goodness gracious, we had a president was talking about put some bleach on it. Nuts. Then he was so crazy, he named it Operation Warp Speed. Don't nobody want to hear about no vaccines. Don't say it. Because it wasn't made in warp speed. Why are you saying it? What he really wanted to say is that scientists around the world are all coming together, right, to put the best idea to help us fight against the pathogen. But the marketing campaign was crazy. When you say warp speed, everybody, especially Black, I ain't taking that. White people, you know, like, I ain't taking that. It was made too fast, as if people knew how long it took. They ain't give y'all a phone call on how long they've been dealing with the technology. You would have to do like I've been reading journals for over 15 years now. So I understood that the technology had already, you know what I'm saying, been in play. And cancer drugs back in, I think, maybe 1998 or something like that, right there, you know, and Carolyn, right? She's the doctor that figured out what was wrong with the mRNA, right? She figured it out, right? She figured out what the problem was. Most people can't even tell you what the problem was that made it dangerous. Do you know why that mRNA vaccine was dangerous, or dealing with the RNA? Because you got DNA and you got RNA. RNA is older than DNA, but that's a breakthrough when they took the RNA, right? And the ribosome's gonna read the message. That's why they call them the mRNA. The message, it's a message that is given to cells, and the ribosome in the cell reads the RNA, right? So what was the problem? What was occurring when they was putting it in the rats and the mice? What was the problem? Remember, they actually later on, they actually put a human immune system in the daggone mouse. That's another conversation. That's deep right there. Yeah. Anyway, what was the problem with it? I can tell you what the problem was. No, what was the problem with it? Because you can't say I ain't gonna take it if you don't even know what the problem was. You don't even know if they fixed the problem if you don't know what the problem was. So what was the problem with the RNA, the mRNA? What was it they couldn't get right?
That I have no clue.
Right. So then why would you say I ain't taking? That's crazy. That means you haven't done your due diligence. What's up? We're gonna hit the thing early. Hit that gym early. No, why? Let's go to bed early. You hear me? What was it? You don't know. You said you don't know what it was. So then you just shouldn't, you probably should have did more diligence on that part before you just decided to run around like that. And then, because then we want to make informed choices, and we all have a right. And I wouldn't joke you, right, for making a different choice than me. No, that's not fair. You have a right to say, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But what you really don't have a right to do is to give other people bad information. And as a human being, as much as possible, when we're in serious situations, we should make informed decision, right? An informed decision is not you trying to balance out pseudo information with some real information. That's not informed. That's you tripping. So how do I know? Because I was tripping 15 years ago. Couldn't figure out whether to get the kids a vaccine if they was born. Okay, I'm good. So I just shook the dice, right? Couldn't figure out how to get to it. You know what I mean? It was mixed messages. So I say, I'm gonna let them go ahead in the hospital. Go ahead. They was like, look, sir, you need to give them this. You need to do that. Okay, give them a couple of them, but I'm not gonna take them back. I'm gonna space it out over time. It was crazy, but I didn't know no better. So I always say, represent the change or be the change you want to see in the world. So I personally wanted to see people who was having infants and have children around them. I wanted to make it palatable for them to understand what a vaccine was. And I started doing this about 8-9 months before the pandemic. I can't necessarily tell you why I did it, but I felt like, I was like, man, people don't understand. Wow, that's wild. It had gotten kind of wild to me once I got scientifically literate, right? That, man, y'all don't get that? And it was wild. I had a general conversation, right, with some family, and they was all saying, oh, I'm gonna catch the flu. If I get the flu shot, you don't catch they don't give you the flu. That's not true. Now, it may take 2 weeks for your immune system to actually kick in. And during that 2 weeks or so, you can actually catch the flu, right? Stop, pause. The RNA that they was trying to get together, they was trying to take advantage of the RNA and send a message. Whenever they would shoot it in mice, it would cause inflammation. And inflammation will and can kill you. And they couldn't figure it out. And Curlin, she figured it out. Dr. Curlin figured it out. And what they did was they took the uridine, right? And they switched it with pseudouridine, and it fixed it, and it no longer caused swelling. And voila, there you have it. But that was 20 years ago. There you have it. And so the technology is you're using your own body. That's better medicine, meaning that instead of, when we take an aspirin, the aspirin goes all over your body, right? You take morphine, it go all over your whole body. Any medicine, high blood pressure medicine, it go all over your body, okay? All right? You've got a toothache, your whole body, you get, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the toothache. What that do, that actually goes right into the cells and right to where you wanted to take advantage of. That's another level of human beings. See how that science grew? You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's like taking a water hose and trying to spray everything down, and then got to pinpoint and go get that little thing you was trying to spray down. Oh, now we can just get right to it. Boop. Like they can do certain surgeries now. They can open up valves in your heart with like microsurgery. Put the tube down in there and see it and look at it and close up, beep, boop, 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 before they had to cut your whole daggone chest open, bro. You know what I'm saying? So don't be, we should never be afraid of technology. And yes, there are going to be mistakes in technology. And yes, there's going to be downside and all the 9 yards, right? But we got to be sophisticated enough, right, to understand the checks and the balances. It's called the risk reward. And human beings are horrible at figuring out the risk reward. Like, why else would people sell drugs? See, you horrible at making the decision of the risk reward. You'd be better off starting a hot dog stand with $500 that you got from your grandmother than taking $500 and putting it in some dope. Because even if you made $1 million, once the feds get you, you done gave all that back and then some, and then you just spend 10, 15 years in jail. With the dude with the hot dog stand, he got like 10 of them now, right? And he getting money. But you was unable to weigh out the risk with the reward. See? Same thing with high medical science. We don't make the risk. We see the commercials. Watch how counterintuitive it is. Right now, I'm talking, right? When I see one of them drug commercials on TV, hey, might make you vomit. You know what I'm saying? Might mess up your kidneys. I be like, I don't know about taking that. I don't know right now. But it's really a risk reward, right? And the award outweighs the risk, right? And they work on it until the reward outweighs the risk. And by the way, it's actually science that's telling you what could actually happen to you. People like the Nation of Islam, Pan-African movements, Black nationalists, they can't tell you what it's going to do to you. They got to read a science. They got to look at the scientists to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like people hate the CDC, right? Like Reza Islam and them, right? This they go to. This how you know they pseudo. Whenever they use the CDC in their argument, you know they already lost. Because the CDC absolutely positively agrees with vaccinations. So then why you think you're going to use the information that the CDC wrote and produced with their scientists? You're going to read and say, see, even the CDC say it. Yeah, it's the CDC. Why are you using them? They agree to vaccines and you don't. You can't use them. Find somebody else. They don't got nobody else. Science has spoken. And yes, science makes mistakes. Absolutely. But I tell you what, in the history of vaccinations, you see that book behind me right there, the biology books right there. You see it?
Yeah. All the way back to
so nobody got them. Go ahead, put up your $80 a piece. Go get them. Simple, right? In the history of biology, in the 200 years of history of biology, right, there has not been a vaccination that gave them a problem, you know what I'm saying, after 3 months. Not saying it can't happen, right? We was going to turn and we was going to morph into some kind of wild animals. You heard all the stories, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man, we 2 years in, man. If you ain't turned into something after 30 to 45 days, they don't got none of that. That has not happened yet. And vaccines are some of the safest medicines on planet Earth, by the way. That doesn't take away from companies misusing it or not following the rules as laid down. I just wanted to catch you before you started that.
No, correct.
Right? Science is not evil. Human beings can be evil. Science is not good or bad. Right? The bomb that they dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, was it bad? No, it was technology. That technology heats homes and cities. Okay? Nuclear. That nuclear weapon. Okay? Am I saying it? Almanazer. How you say his name? What is his name? I can't even say his name. I cannot believe that, man.
I can't pronounce it either.
Yeah. Anyway, he's responsible for that, the German scientist, right? And he wasn't an evil person. He just was a scientist. Now, the misuse of that is what makes it evil. Because that same technology heats cities, right? Turn the lights on. Okay. Yeah, splitting the atom. That's what it's called. Nuclear fission. That's what it is. Splitting the atoms. But that's not how the sun works. The sun has fusion. It's different. So the sun is not a thermonuclear explosion. No, it's fusion. The atoms fuse together, right? And cause that energy. So they trying to work with that's clean energy, as a matter of fact. Because the fission, when the atoms split, leaves a byproduct that's what? Radioactive, that they can't never get rid of. So they don't want to keep doing that. They want to learn, they want to get to the point to use fusion. They want to be able to fuse them together to create heat. Right? And so this is science, though. We should cherish that because that's an African thing. Think I'm making that up? Look, science.
I know it's true because about the African thing. You said that something similar in a video years ago.
People
stand by it. Yeah.
People keep doing it over and over again. Look, this is what they do. Let me show you what they do. Let me see. Let me find it real quick. That's what they do. This is simple. All right. If I just go to the history of science, right? No. Go to history of science. All right. Let me show the screen. Because I just hate when they say the white man science. Okay, so you see it, right?
Yeah.
All right. History of science, right? Look, the development of science from ancient times to the present, right?
Mm-hmm.
And encompasses three major branches of science: natural, social, and formal. Science's earliest roots can be traced to where, bro?
Egypt.
There you go. In Mesopotamia, between 3000 and 1200 BCE. Then it goes on to say these civilizations contribute to mathematics, astronomy, medicine. Look, and influence what? Greek natural philosophy. So now you know why I study atheism, because atheism takes you to the natural philosophy. The natural philosophy, right, of classical antiquity, wherein formal attempts were made to provide, look, this is all I'm trying to do for the community, provide explanations of events in the physical world, look, based on natural causes. And for that, they do tomatoes at me, bro. That's all science is, bro. That's it. In the ancient world, they killed the Greek philosophers, Aristotle, Plato's and them. They enslaved them, right? They did all this. They threw them out, killed them. All right? Socrates, get out of here. You trying to explain that? It was Zeus that did it. No, you're going to kill you, sent you to trial, you're done. For trying to do this, the same way in our community, they throw tomatoes, right? When I said it wasn't God, it wasn't a supernatural. No, it was a natural event. It was a natural cause, right? But it was these people that first wanted to fight to get to understanding the natural world, bro. And everybody, to a man, talk about we want to do natural. Well, if you want to do natural, then you want to do science. You don't want to do religion. You don't want to do new age spirituality. You want to do science. If you're so interested in the natural world, then the tool that human beings developed in Africa, right? And not Europe, in Africa first, to look at and to understand nature is science. That's all science is to know. But what is it that scientists want to know? Scientists simply want to know how the natural world works. Religion. What is it that religion want to know? It wants to know how the supernatural works. It wants to know how outside of nature works. But we claiming we natural people and we want to be natural, Well, then why you study the supernatural? Because the supernatural super outside of nature. It's outside. It's not the natural that you're talking about. It's not natural. It's supernatural. It's outside of nature. But you say we natural people. So if we natural people, then we should get back in tune with science. There you go. Yeah, that vaccine, all that. Nope. Yeah, but I respect everybody's choice. I don't even promote the vaccines no more. Because I know y'all gonna be all right. I know enough people in caught it, right? Vaccinated and not vaccinated and caught it. That puts a barrier. It slows down the pathogen. That's counterintuitive. They're actually catching it, natural immunity, right? But you got to get sick. That's another one. It's counterintuitive. You got to get sick. That's the thing. We don't want you to get that damn sick because over 2 million people died. Millions of people died getting sick. No, that's why we got vaccinated, because our body was already ready for the pathogen. So you had to go through the stages of of course, your immune system is the greatest thing on, man, any disease in the cosmos, your immune system is ready for it. Yeah, your immunity, bro. Most people don't know what immunity is. They have no idea. They tripping. They don't know. Philip Detmer, Immune, a journey into the mysterious system that keeps you alive. Yeah, we ain't gonna read this, man. You go right on YouTube, type that in, and look at the videos, cartoons off the chain, bro. You should do that, and you can say, man. So, why are you saying we need a vaccine if our natural immune system works? Because it do. I never said it didn't work. I simply said that the vaccines is a high-level technology that was definitely prevalent in West Africa prior to the Africans coming to America. That thing fighting a pathogen with the pathogen, giving your immune system a little bit of the pathogen so that it will develop antibodies. If you got the thing full blown, you can find that in West Africa. We go to the African called Onesimus in the 1700s. 1703, there was an outbreak in Boston of smallpox. And the slave master, Cotton Mather in Boylston, was actually a Harvard-trained doctor, was there. They was wondering, these colonies of Africans wasn't tripping off the smallpox. They wasn't even getting it like that. They was like, why y'all ain't tripping? Why you ain't getting like that? The thing that got the Africans was that the white people would get sick and it would mess up the trade and moving food back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So they was starving. But they wasn't afraid of the disease. And they say, so why? Why are you not afraid? Onesimus said, because we took care of that in our country. What you mean? What you do? What we did was we cut a slit in our arm, took some pus from an infected person, a little bit of it, put it in the slit, sewed it back up. The person got sick for 6 to 7 days, got the fever, but he didn't get the full-blown thing of smallpox. He didn't get it. And so next time he came around, it didn't get him. So they had immunity already based off of giving themselves that. They was just like me. I ain't tripping off coronavirus. I'm laughing at y'all. I ain't tripping, right? And so, yes, 75 years later, right? 1775, Edwin Jenner develops the first vaccine. So we had inoculation. Inoculation is when you take a piece of the pathogen, which is dangerous, and put it in there and get a person sick. But it works. What it do? It stimulates your immune system. Your immune system recognizes a disease, recognizes a pathogen, right? You were being attacked. Okay? And it's not innocuous. Innocuous meaning it's not of self, but it's not dangerous. When I say in the literature, they say self and non-self. This is in the vaccine literature. This is in immunology literature, right? Self and non-self, right? Non-self meaning you wasn't born with it. An apple, you wasn't born with an apple. Pollen, you wasn't born with pollen. Steaks, vegetables, you wasn't born with that, right? So you can eat it and you could have an immune response to it because your body recognizes it as being an enemy. but it doesn't. It realizes it's innocuous. It's of non-self, but it's not dangerous. It's food. Some people have peanut aversions. That means there's something wrong with your immune system. A peanut should not kill you because it's innocuous. It's food, right? But some people do. Pollen shouldn't give you running noses and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's non-dangerous, but your body, your immune system attacks it. And so when people have a peanut aversion, allergic to this and allergic to that, that's your immune system attacking it. Running nose, snot, right? We heard people run around the community talking about mucus is dang. No, you need, without mucus, you're done. You can't even take a poop without mucus. Mucus is your first line of defense for your immune system. It grabs and holds on to pathogens and kick them out. So Onesimus, right, had this system that he brought from West Africa, and a lot of West African slaves had that already. You can look that up. That ain't nothing. And so Cotton Mather, and then was like, man, let me try it on my kids. Boyson was saying, yeah, you can try it on your kids, but you ain't trying on anybody else, because remember, he's trained in science. He's like, hold on. Let's take our time. And they had one of the first, not vaccine trial, but they had one of the first trials, and they figured it out. And they did the test, and they realized that people that actually got that, that inoculation, actually survived a higher rate than people that didn't get it. And they were like, that's the way to go. And then they finally developed a vaccine off of cowpox, because the milk maidens, those who did the, get the milk from the cows to get a certain a virus. It's called cowpox. It's in a pox family, and it causes blisters on your finger. But it's close enough, the viola virus, right? With the smallpox, was the viola virus, right? It's in the same pox family, so you afforded the same protection. So they took that and dried that. They dried that virus from the cow, okay? Cowpox. They dried it out, and you know what I'm saying? They dried that virus out, and they diluted it and put it in the vaccine, and that shit worked on smallpox. And they've been running 100 miles forward since then. And every time you say, I'm not going to take this, I get it. Because what's the difference between a doctor in the 1700s, a charlatan, and a doctor, charlatan, snake oil salesman? What's the difference in the 1700s?
You got me.
Wasn't no different. They was all pseudo. They killed George Washington with bloodletting. George Washington had a cold. Yeah, they drained 2 quarts of blood out on the man, died. He had a cold, yo. George Washington fought on battles, was shot, had wooden teeth, had been sick before all that and made it, and he catch a cold, and they bloodletted him, and the man, they killed the man. They killed George Washington. It didn't have no clinical trials. Did you get your real first clinical trials was with, I believe it was the, I can't come to the it's called, scurvies. Yep, scurvies. They got that first they did that with scurvies, and they realized, that fruit, that citrus fruit, vitamin C in the citrus fruit, is what actually causes scurvy. Lack of vitamin C causes scurvies. Yeah. And that's how we know the Africans didn't sail over here, because they didn't have a cure for scurvies. If you had 100 people on the ship, by the time you got here, half of them would have been dead because of scurvies. So you got to get the cure for scurvies to be able to do long expeditions. That's just a little drop, tip. You know what I'm saying? Scurvies. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we did the vaccine thing. We right there.
Man, you killed all my questions. I ain't gonna front. I was gonna try to come hard.
Well, you got the Nigerians.
But
you got the Nigerian.
Yeah, you answered it, and you broke everything down, and just, yeah, man. yeah.
It's just education, man. And science don't mean they don't get it wrong. And signs don't mean that they don't make mistakes. They do make mistakes. We got, the polio vaccine. It mutated and it killed some people. Man, he had the wrong, and it wasn't even that. He was using something to sterilize the material. I forget what it was, and they tried to go cheap or something, and he used it, and the virus actually mutated, and it killed some people, yo. Yeah. But it wasn't his fault, yo. He was telling them, don't do it, don't use that. They were like, yeah, use that, it's cheaper. And they used it and it didn't actually work like it was supposed to. It didn't kill all the virus enough, right? And it mutated, but they had to learn from it. They learned. Yeah, just like at the, oh man, what's the trial everybody always talk about? Tuskegee, right? And so our Tuskegee experiment, like they no longer can do that. Meaning you got to have a informed consent, right? You can't, if you find a cure for something, you got to give the people a chance to take it, just like the people that was in the clinical trials for the vaccine. And see, this is what people don't know. You know, in the middle of a pandemic, yo, is the greatest time to test any daggone thing. Get that, yo. You in the middle, you got plenty of people catching. It's not like normally with vaccines. That's another thing that added to the quickness of how they was able to put that together, because you're surrounded by the coronavirus. Normally in clinical trials, you got to find somebody, right? You know, you don't want to give it to them and see if it works. I mean, you want to find some people with it, and right? But during the pandemic, it's all around you, but it's easy. You bring in 500 people, yo, a lot of them gonna have it already. And then you can test it on them. You do the gold standards, the clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And you never start with humans, you start with animals. And you don't even start with animals, you start with in vitro in the test tube. Yeah, and then because animals' rights, you better not. Better not. Right? Then you do your mice, right? Your genetically altered mice with the human immune system. Most people don't know that. That's spectacular to me, bro. Nobody in our community that wasn't educated in what the school could do that. Put an immune system in a mouse, a human immune system to test stuff. And then you move to the apes, the chimpanzees. That's a step up, because chimpanzees are 98%, 99% the same as human beings. And it's counterintuitive, because one is in the trees in the zoo and one is in space. Well, what do you mean we have a common ancestor? Because we split. About 7 million years, we split. That's what nature do, right? Group of 10. They don't know what it looked like. One went in one environment and one went in another environment. And based off of natural selection and other forces, right? Sexual selection, natural selection, horizontal gene transfer, genetic drift, right? In different environments and different responses, by the time they meet back up, look, they split off. By the time they meet back up, yo, one is in space and one is in the zoo. One is in the Stone Age, one is in the space age. Chimpanzees are in the Stone Age, they make tools. They make stone tools, they make tools to get stuff out the ground, insects and honey and stuff. They go 9 feet down the ground with a little stick they make. They put it at the right length and all that. They got stone tools, so they definitely in the Stone Age. But that's how we supposed to study. That's how we supposed to get it. We're not supposed to let other people run around with this tool. Science is undefeated. Only better science can defeat science. Religion can't do it. Rizza Islam and them can't do it. 5 keys in them can't do it. They pseudoscientists. They high-level pseudoscientists, and they come to us and they say, we're having a high-level conversation. No, you're having a low-level conversation. Memorization, remembering things is the low level. Simple as that. Being able to master something, being able to know how something works and actually do it, producing something is the high level. So they never have high level conversations. They say they're having high level conversations when they talk about the Anunnaki and the crystal magic and rocks and all that nonsense. Man, they take crystals as if a crystal is something that has some kind of power to it, when in actuality, the rocks tell the story of the cosmos. So science is telling the story of the cosmos. The hardest class I've had to take in my life wasn't biological evolution. It was rocks and how they can learn everything from a rock, bro. That's how they get the age of the earth. A meteorite came to earth, and they studied it and they looked at the lead coming from it. Whole story around it. Watch the story of the cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Robert St. Clair, look him up. He gave you the age of the earth, 4.2 billion years approximate. Science doesn't look for the truth. Science looks for the approximate. That's counterintuitive. They approximate things. So 4.2 billion years approximate. We don't want to hear that. We want to know. Jesus walked on water.
They said he did, man. That's a lot of people's sticking to that faith. That's what he did.
I mean, you can still believe in the know. And so you have science. See, this is what they want to tell you. You have scientists that are religious. But what they don't tell you is that the person that's a scientist, they won't think that Jesus walked on water and did all that. They won't tell you that. They just say they scientists, the Christian scientists. I know, but they're not taking that to the lab with them. And when you really ask them the question, they just say, yeah, they believe there's a creator, right? But they don't believe all the other stuff in that. But they Christian, they like the way that sounds. And then you'll see people misuse the word science because the word science actually gives you power, right? So they call it creation science. No such thing. So these Christians come up with creation science. Why do they need to use the word science? Because they know science has power. It's power in the word. You know, why do they African science? No such thing. It's just science. Why do they use that? Why do they use the word science? We got science in the Bible, science in the Quran. Why does science have to be in the Bible and the Quran? Why would God need science? Because they know science holds the power. It is what it is.
Well, so I ain't gonna hold you too much long, but I wanted to say this. I wanted to get this out. Because you brought up how with the Pan-Africanists and the Black National and the Black, Panthers, whatever have you. And I can say personally you're true on that because I remember my uncle, who a very, very big known Black Panther. When he was talking about the vaccines, how they'd be like, oh no, don't take, and I went to talk about that. And I don't remember seeing him. He was always on the move for whatever reason. But I do remember seeing him for like 2 weeks when I was in my early 20s. And we talked about vaccines, he talked about things, and he was talking about how he was against vaccines and different things like that. So I definitely, it definitely resonated when you brought that up as far as, Black Panthers and different things like that. Now, my question to you is, 2 weeks. I'm from Westchester County, and I know a lot of nurses, doctors, and where I was living at before, there's a VA hospital. Okay. Montrose. And I know a lot of them had left, and even like the health center, a lot of them had left, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And their reason was they not messing with the vaccine. It's not trusted. And, there's so many side effects. There was a lot of people died getting the vaccine, do the vaccine. They're not counting. Now, these are people who I know, again, it sucks that I can't have them on or show some documents.
Why not? Why can't you have them on? You got the live now with the link. You can always get them in any day, any time, any place. Bring them on.
Yo, people, if y'all watching it, people's in Peace Scale. If y'all watching it, and y'all, that's in the medical field, hop on. But a lot of them quit their jobs and whatever have you.
In the medical field, like what, biologists? If they're not biologists, they tripping.
Just like nurses.
That's the worst. The nurses are the worst.
RNs,
Oh,
regular doctors,
man.
neurosurgeon.
Yeah, no, none of that work. We're not. No, stop.
But I'm just a lot of them would
They don't
basically
count. They don't
quit
count.
their jobs
They
and
don't
whatever
count.
happened.
Listen. A brain surgeon. Ben Carson talk about evolution ain't real. He a brain surgeon. Think about that for a minute, yo. You like it's the most wildest thing. So I'm not trusting. Listen. Go find a virologist that says these things. Go find an immunologist that says these things. You don't have it. Get me somebody to I'm not gonna get. Come on, man. I'm not gonna get a football player to drive an Indy 500 car. It don't make no sense. You gonna crash us.
Correct.
I'm gonna put my life on the line with you. Yeah, I know Lawrence Taylor. You the greatest linebacker. Ray Lewis. You gotta pick him. You gonna pick an Indy car driver or Ray Lewis, a white Indy car driver or a black Ray Lewis to drive the Indy car. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna take that white Indy car driver. That's
okay. So I'm gonna pick that virologist, that immunologist. These are fields of study, bro. They don't say that. Go find one. Now you have varying opinions within that scientific community, but of course, because that's science. It's not stuck. But I'm not, you quit your job because you was a fool. You should just, if you actually a doctor, bro, you could actually apply the methodology to that. You could actually sit down with some of your friends, like Kyrie Irving and them. Like, come on, Kyrie. You can actually have a sit down with Fauci, bro. He will answer all your questions way better than I can. Y'all, you tripping. Yeah, we thought we could make up the educational gap. You can't. These people going to school for 8, 9, 10, 15 years, man. The sister that worked for Moderna, bro. Come on, so the black scientists, we're going to ignore that? It's a sister to help get that thing through. Since we going blackity black, what are we talking about here? See, and this is all scientific literacy does for you. It helps you just to make decisions, bro. That's part of it. So I'm not listening to Reza Islam. This nigga ain't went to no school for viruses.
Correct.
Why would I listen to him? See how we're not good at making evaluation? Horrible at it. Like Reza Islam, you talking. Nation of Islam, dude, y'all had enough money of ours that y'all could have built a little lab, dude. You know, a lab, man, a small office. Come on, yo, with 5 cubibles in it and 2 labs, yo. Really? Over the last 75 years, y'all couldn't do that, yo. A lab, bro, and sent 1% of the people that came to the nation to virology and immunology school. You done had the Million Man March 2-3 times and what all that money, dude. Knock it off. I don't want to hear none of that from none of y'all. Not from Black National. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it right now because you let us down when we needed you the most. And that's the point I was on, right? Let me get back to that. When we needed it the most, right? In the last 100 years, they failed us. So that's how I know it was trying to refurbish all of that. It's time to reorganize the Nation of Islam. It's time to reorganize the Pan-African movement. It's time to reorganize the Black nationalists. It's time to reorganize the pseudos because everything they talked about was wrong. The whole Dr. Sabry thing, all that was charlatan. It didn't work. We know it didn't work. The gig is up. We've seen it. The only reason we're here now without masses and all that, bro, is because of the Black and white scientists, of the Chinese scientists, of the Russian scientists, the scientists around the world, right? When China got that DNA, right? When they mapped out the genome of the novel SARS-CoV-2, and the reason they put that word novel there is because for the first time in the annals of humanity, this particular pathogen has came in contact with the human genome. It was a brand new pathogen. That's why it's called novel. Look it up. SARS, right? CoV-2, coronavirus, because it's shaped like a what? A corona. 2. And we've seen it in real time. We've seen it mutate and transformed as it went in different environments. Each human body is a different environment, and it created different variants. So if we just had the regular vaccine, we'd have been in trouble. They was able to kind of tweak the vaccine, click it, it would mutate, click, it mutate, click, right? But the coronavirus was definitely better than us, bro. It was definitely better than us, but it wasn't that better than us, but it was good. Nature ain't no joke. Nature ain't no joke. It ain't, I'm telling you. But if we'd have had the old eat a leaf, we still be, it's crazy. Oh, go eat a leaf. Oh, go grab some grass off the ground, and that's going to stop her. It's not. It cannot. People don't get it. It's counterintuitive. The vaccine causes it. It uses your body to fight it. Do you get that? You give me a leaf or something, ain't using my body. You're thinking maybe that leaf or herb has some antiviral effect that will slow down a virus. Okay, now I'm understanding you. Okay, it's going to slow down a virus. It's going to slow it down, huh? That's what you're thinking. But how much? I weigh 240 pounds, 250 pounds. How much of that do I got to take? Did you do a trial to know? How about 150 pounds? How much of that? We know garlic has some properties to work. We know that, but how much of it, right? Garlic doesn't stay in your system long enough to have the desired effect. So what is it that you have to do to synthesize it, right? To take that chemical away? Julian Percy synthesized yams, all right, and created a drug. He unlocked the secret magic of plants. So it ain't the plant, bro. It's the daggone active ingredient in the plant. This is science at a high level. We don't gotta eat the herb. We could just synthesize the aspirin. There's a plant. You synthesize it. You don't got all day for that. And Lord knows, yo, the natural pathic ambulance ain't coming to get you when you really get sick. The red, black, and green don't got the hospital I look for. I didn't see it. I didn't see the hospital with the red, black, and green doors on it, glass doors painted with the flag, right? The Dr. Sabi ambulance didn't come. We watched Dr. Ben, the man ate everything. We watched John Henry Clark, he ate everything. We watched Dr. Sabi. We watched Dr. Africa. Who died first? Who went first? Right? It's about balancing our diet, bro. You vegans, you ain't gonna be no vegan. Okay. Show me a vegan African nation. You find that in Hindu tradition. Europeans book veganism over to this guy. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? Like we have to take agency. We have to get scientific religion to look at these things. You promote veganism. That's not even an African thing. Humanity wouldn't even got here just eating plants. You didn't get enough energy. Those human ancestors went extinct. Those who had specialized diets went extinct, bro. When the grass went, their ass went. Johnny, we can't find no more seeds. We done. Billy, I'm eating everything. Roaches, rats, monkeys, bears, tigers. I'm grilling it up, bro. Yeah, the vegans didn't make it, bro. We know our teeth. Our teeth aren't specialized. Our teeth, we're omnivores, right? And the omnivores. So why is it important to be at the top of the food chain? Okay, we at the top of the food chain. So you got grasses and grains that grow based off of the natural environment. Weather conditions will change. Now, the Sahara went from a green, bustling area to now is dry and desert, different things. So if you just was eating grains, you was done. It dried up, you can't do it, right? So these animals that ate the grains, these herbivores, these cows, right? These deer, right? They follow the grains, they search out the grains. The carnivores follow the herbivores that's following the grasses. The omnivores follow the carnivores, right? That's following the herbivores that's following the grasses. And we can eat the carnivore, the herbivore, and the grasses. We the last man standing, man. The fact that we ate the meat, right? Cooked meat in particular, it allowed our brains to grow bigger. The development of the frontal lobe gave us more energy. our ancestors, right, part of the other homogeneous family, because you got several species in a homogeneous family: Homo Neanderthal, Homo naledi, Homo erectus. You know what I'm saying? Homo ergaster. These are different humans. Had about 10, 15 different species of humans on the planet, give or take, back and forth. We're the last ones standing. Homo Neanderthal is gone. We the last ones standing, omnivores, right? And so energy, you eat fruit and vegetables, yo, you can eat it, but don't do too much. You better eat it and sit down. Don't die up. You spend your whole day looking for that. Your whole day looking for that. You got to eat that. Man, look at the elephants. They eat all day long. Look at the deer. They ain't running around acting crazy, chilling. Right? Right. Eat some cooked meat, yo. You eat one meal a day. You good. Running wild, chasing everything else down, just trying to save their energy. So yeah, it's about a balanced diet for us. It's about being scientifically literate so we can know what's good for us and what's not, right? Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables all the time. Essential. You're getting your vitamins, you're getting your protein, you know what I'm saying? From your meat, like, we just go far extremes, bro. So being a vegan and all that, that's an extreme. That's a religious treatise, though. You know that, right? The religious treaty. Yeah, the Hindus do that. That's religion, man. They don't eat the cows. It's sacred in a religion. The religious treaty. Not eating pork is a religious treaty. I don't eat pork, but that's my religious piece left over. It's religious, dog. Yeah, it's religious. People don't like to hear that, but it's religious. Yeah, the Hebrews were trying to separate themselves because they was really Canaanites. And in the records, some of them wasn't, all of them, some of them was, and some of them wasn't. But that kind of, that's how you can separate your culture. We're just going to make a treaties against that. And, okay, bet. The Egyptians ate pigs. Show me an African vegan nation. We supposed to be natural. We supposed to be African, right? I love Africa. We natural. Show me one. Now, we the oldest people on the earth, right?
Yeah.
Can you name the vegan tribe?
Can't name it. Can't name it.
It's all, I don't never speak in absolutes. You're going to fuck around, excuse my language, you're going to mess around and find one. Probably got about 2 members left starving in the corner.
Yeah. They probably with the people that can speak Moretic.
Yeah. Yeah, so we the tool of science is powerful, man. So we gotta be responsible with it because you can really hurt people. Just like the pseudo can lie to you and trick you and get your money. We got scam artists around here selling you CMOS and all kind of stuff, yo. You got to be careful with that stuff, man. That stuff's not approved. The vitamins, all that stuff. You can read the statements on it. So yeah, man. People will say we don't deal with the white man's science. We don't trust them, but yet you let your babies go to the refrigerator and get food out of it, which is FDA approved. Walking contradiction. You say the white man is the devil, but you go to work and take a check from the devil. Walking contradiction. Oh, I don't like, the white man's the devil, white man is the devil, but you have his women. Walking contradiction. Just shut up and live your life, man. Shut up, you contradicting yourself. I'm not taking a vaccine, I'm not taking the vaccine. You get sick, you be the first one diving into the 911, your heart start hurting. Come get me. You ain't gonna call Dr. Sabi? Yeah, can you get me Dr. Sabi people over here? Can I get the red pill and blue pill over here?
Yeah.
Can I get 5 keys over here to give me some of that herbal remedy? Hell, you be like, hell no, if you don't take me to the hospital. And for all those who say evolution is the monkey thing, you will take your butt to a hospital, which absolutely uses evolution to make sure you're good, because medicine has to be evolutionary minded. Just like the vaccine was elevated to the position to be evolutionary minded. That's when the virus changed, you could change. it could change. When the virus changed, it could change. It was 2, 3, 4 steps behind, but we're getting better out of that experience. Medicine has to be evolutionary minded. We are surrounded by pathogens and viruses, right? 100 to the 10th power. If you was to extend viruses on top of each other, you would go all the way out into space 100 light years. We are surrounded by viruses and pathogens. Every time you breathe in viruses and pathogens. Every breath you take, we are surrounded. We're in an evolutionary war against the pathogens. Thank goodness for our immune system, and thank goodness for science. Because the Black Power organizations, they ain't got none of that, but they still talking. See, they can get us off our square. They can get us believing that. So my point is, if I listen to you, Pan-Africanism, Nation of Islam, Black nationalists, grassroots, everybody, the vegan community and all that stuff, right? If I listen to you, I might listen to it sound good. When I get sick, though, I got to go to the very thing you say don't mess with. When you get sick, right? The vegan community, the raw community, the raw vegetable community, the Black nationalists, the Pan-Africanists, the Nation of Islam, when all y'all get sick, y'all end up in the very place that y'all talked about. You walk in contradictions because you forget about all that when you about to go. You just lose it. All of a sudden, you're smiling at the white nurse and the doctor. Doctor, can you help me? But you just talk reckless about the whole situation for years. For years. That's why you gotta keep it cool. You gotta keep it cool. Keep it cool, man. Just keep it cool. Keep the personal thing to yourself, right? And fight against oppression. You fight with action. You don't fight with the mouth. The Nation of Islam fought with the mouth, right? Martin Luther King and the Christians fought with the action. How do I know? Because we're on YouTube having a high-level intelligent conversation, and they ain't kicking out doing. And if they do kick out doing and make a mistake and shoot me, at least my family gonna get some money. Back then, when they kicked the door and shot you, you're done.
You're done.
That's the difference between then and now. They want to say, hey, no different. Yeah, the difference is money. Michael Irvin, he's suing the hotel.
That's right. 100 mil.
When a white lady talk crazy, Black Wall Street, when a white lady talk crazy, they burned it down. See the difference? You want to know the difference is? That's the difference. It's called the money. What do you mean? It's what I want them to serve time in jail. Whoa, if they come in, kick my door down and shoot me, please don't lock them up. Just give my family the money. You selling out. Now, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, that's generational wealth. They be good. They've been around dad long enough. They good. They sharp. I'd rather be like, okay, what would you rather? You rather the man get 10 years in jail or get 30 million, 5 million, whatever. What's your choice? I'm gonna choose the money. And that ain't selling out. That's just keeping it real. It's about food, clothing, and shelter and survivability. With that money, they can put themselves in a situation where they can teach their kids, they can teach other kids in the community, they can build something for the community to make them stronger, make them more valuable. You worry about somebody being in jail, man, okay, yeah, that's nice. If that's a caveat, yeah, lock them up too. But stop being a walking contradiction because you really don't mean it. If you mean it, then you would live it. Represent the change you want to see in the world. Where is the hospitals with the flag on it? Where is the university high level with the flag on it? Where is these organizations? Where is the infrastructure? Where is the towns? We don't have it. Stop talking. You wasting time talking. You tripping. You tripping. Like you got Black colleges. In fact, you put your money back into that. Stop worrying about Deion Sanders and hating on him. Stop hating. Participate. I'm never a hater. I'm a participator. The pseudos, that's why I had to upgrade my studio. I didn't hate on them. I just participate. We run away from the real thing that we gave the world. We become Hindu. We become Hebrews, he fools, We Native Americans dressed up in costumes. Aboriginal. We all that. Why not go back to being scientifically literate? That's what you gave the world, bro. Like, I'm just confused. No, it's funny. No. It's actually funny. Hold on. I mean, it's completely, it's hilarious. Look, let's see. All right. I think I'm gonna pull this up. Watch how funny this is, y'all. All right. If I pull this up, look at this. No. Hold on. Watch this. Hold on. All right. Let me hit this right here. Let me share this screen. Watch this. I don't want to keep you half the night neither. Let me see. You see the screen? You see that, right?
History of science and technology in Africa.
Mm-hmm. You see the different color codes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sudan is in North Africa for all y'all to act like ain't no black people, or what you call black people, or dark to brown people in North Africa. You lied. And this is a geopolitical map anyway, but Southern Africa, you see that, Eastern Africa, Central Africa, Western Africa, yo. Africa was what, bro? Africa has the world's oldest record of human technology and achievement. The oldest stone tools in the world have been found in East Africa, and later evidence for tool production by hominid ancestors has been found across West, Central, East, and Southern Africa. The history of science and technology in Africa since then has, however, received relatively little attention compared to other regions of the world, despite notable African developments in mathematics, metallurgy, architecture, and other fields. Why ain't these people teaching us, bro? This is the essential thing. And you go to astronomy, they wasn't practicing astrology. They was practicing astronomy. They wasn't reading your horoscope. Mars is in retrograde. Knock it off. You making it up. Okay. Nile Valley. Look, Nile Valley. It's a stone circle located in the Playa Basin. May be one of the world's oldest known astronomical devices. Astronomical. Look at that. Hold on. Arco-astronomy. There you go. All right. That's where, yo, the oldest known device is in Africa. Built by who, bro?
It's the Nubians.
Right. It ain't say Egyptians. Built by the Nubians about 4,800 BCE. The device may have approximately marked the summer solstice. This is important, yo, to know when the rains is returning and coming. This is essential. Open up the way for farming. You got to know when the water is coming back and forth. You got to know that. Yeah. All right. You got to know that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's go to West Africa real quick. East, South, Central, North Africa. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let's come to medicine. Medicine. All right. All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
What did I say? The knowledge of inoculating oneself against smallpox seems to have been known to West Africans. I said that. I'm just supporting with the documentation, bro. Like I like to talk, get you out there, think I don't got it. I got it.
I knew you got it.
Right? We can start, we start with Wiki and we end in the journals. all day. It say more specifically there a can. It said a slave named Onesimus explained inoculation procedure to who? I told you, Cotton Mather. Cotton Mather was a New England Puritan clergyman, writer, educator at Harvard College. It says during the 18th century, it says he reported to have gotten the knowledge from Africa. There you go. And we can just go down the thing. I just wanted to put that there. All right. Yeah, just to touch him up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just touch him up just a little bit.
It's gonna do a lot because I had no knowledge of that, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you fighting against yourself with a lie. It's crazy. You come to what you don't get walking contradiction, going against high level. We get they just modernized it, yo. You hating on that. They don't even get there. You don't even get to an interballistic missile without the inventing of a system that can create a projectile. Just throwing a rock ain't good enough, bro. Right? Just taking an arrowhead or something and throwing it ain't good enough. You put a stick on the end of it, you develop a bow and arrow. Now you got a projectile. It can go farther. Now you can extend your range. You put a stick on the end of that rock. Now you got an axe. You can throw it farther. Now you better than the guy that's holding his hand. You can step away from him. They stepped away from the Neanderthal. They had the spear. They could throw it and get them. The bow and arrow, you're done. They conquered the world with the bow and arrow, bro. Yeah, they conquered Homo sapiens sapien Africans. Mutated around the world as they conquered with the damn bow and arrow, bro. Like, knock it off. They conquered the earth. That's a technology, yo. They conquered the earth. Made them top-notch predator. Now we ain't got to run up on the Neanderthal had to run up on the bison. You got to run up on it and stab it and three of y'all gonna die. Somebody black was like, hell no. Probably was dancing or something with a stick and threw it. Was like, oh, hold on, we can. All right, bet. Oh, you already know. Come on, man. You know how we do, man. Ingenuity is best, man. You already know, yo. So black man, don't make me pull out the old rock art with the bow and arrow on it. 15,000, 20,000 BCE. You know I can do it. Don't make me do it. Yeah, that's African technology, bro. They conquered the earth with that spear, that bow and arrow. What you talking about? You hunting everything down to the ground. Hunting it down to the ground, bro. You eat. Yeah, you ain't scared of nothing. I got the bow. Later on, Europeans will come back with the rifle, but the rifle still wasn't better than the bow, and it sure as hell wasn't better than the people throwing those rocks. The rock throwing was formidable. You know you can throw a rock 100 miles an hour. Right? Shaka Zulu and them never fought against the Europeans. Most people don't know that. Yeah, he could surround them, right? Take their gun, because you only get one shot with the musket. Pow! And then they on you. Yeah, he outmaneuvered them. You know, they like to stand still with the musket, shoot. You bend down, stand up, put the powder in it, you done. You die, yeah, you dead. By the time you dead.
Correct.
Yeah, you can pull up sources, yo. The Europeans were saying, yo, they was formidable with that. Absolutely, you can pull up the sources on it, bro. They was formidable with that. They ain't just coming there doing none of that we thinking. Slow process, they came in. You know what I'm saying? Over time, you take advantage of us fighting back and forth because we say we Africans, but the truth, yo, we different clans, we different tribes, we different nations, different city states, yo. Same, you know what I mean? No more difference. You don't make all Europeans is crazy. Right? The Russians don't call themselves Europeans and then cuss you out for it. Yeah, so yeah, we got a lot to grow. And I think I think we off on a good foot here, man. I'm gonna keep fighting. Hopefully I raise the younger brothers and sisters to talk, you know, in a manner that I talk, standing on the shoulders of all the elders, because I wouldn't have got it. You know, I read their work, read into their work, you know what I'm saying? Africa, mother of Western civilization. Right? Was it the truth? Yeah, it was the truth. And maybe he didn't have it all right in here, but yeah, Mediterranean culture is actually African culture going to the Mediterranean, spreading culture, communicating to Western Asia. So Mediterranean culture is really African and Western Asian culture. Africans brought medicine to that area in that. And what they did was out of that, you will get Greece and the Mycenaeans, you know what I'm saying? And the Romans and all that, the Mediterranean culture. So the Mediterranean cultures actually come out of African and Western Asian culture. When they come together and meet, this forms Mediterranean culture. And so, they gotta give us props for that. All right, the way, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just the African, it was the Western Asians. But the Western Asians ain't nothing but mutated Africans, and the Native Americans ain't nothing but mutated Africans. And fundamentally speaking, all human beings on Earth are African. They just a mutated version of the original, from the original of the original. Mutated, mixed. Simple as that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, bro.
Again, I appreciate you, love you, thank you.
Appreciate
you for coming to the podcast. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I gotta get, we gotta build again. We're gonna be talking outside of this. And I definitely, like I said, I appreciate you so much. I've learned so much from you, not only today, but throughout the years.
Yeah.
Dropping knowledge, and I love you, man. And just
appreciate that, bro.
And I want a lot of people that seen that to just, hopefully they learn something from this. And I'm always going to vouch for you as one of my mentors. I told you that the first time we spoke, and I want the world to hear that.
Popped up on. You got that mic popped up on you.
Yeah. When you said, you said anybody want to debate. I was like, I said that. I was like, yeah, because I already knew you was. I already know, man. Like I said, to me, you're a master teacher, man, and I hold you high.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I love you for that, man. So
appreciate that. I'm gonna stay responsible,
man. Thank you. I appreciate you, and it's always love, man. To the next time.
Yeah, man. Let me shout out the Pseudo Killers, man. We on there, man. Saturday night at the movies, man. Pseudo Killers at the movies, man. 8:00, man. 8:30. Every Sunday, man. I'm on Sarnetta University, man. I'm popping up on that. Check out all them shows, man. Specifically when I start rocking on the channel, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sarnetta, man, for giving me the opportunity, man. He could have chose the pseudo. He could have chose the pseudo to do it, but he chose a person that was promoting scientific literacy. And I appreciate that, man. I'm a Raw Squad up, man. Shout out to the I'm a Raw Squad, man. We still here in the building, man. Real Black Atheism, man, that's live. Check out the channel, Real Black Atheism on Fire. Like and subscribe, man. I'm all over that, man. And make sure y'all tune in to Space Age African Astronomy Club, man. Go get your telescopes, man. Learn the stars, man. We come from the stars, man. It's a beautiful thing. And we stay right here so we can make right decisions for our families, man, and pushing everybody forward, man.
That's love. And definitely shout out to Sarnetta, because I found you on there, and when you guys started talking about Dr. Ben, Yusuf Yakin, who I love, again, talking about I hold him here forever. Dr. Ivan Sertimer, John Henry Clark, it was on his platform, where I heard of these guys, and
she got the Diops.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I appreciate you, OG. Love you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm here, man. Whenever you need me, man. I'm on the bat phone, man. They talking reckless, yo. I got you. Go get him. Go get him.
All right, then.
Megatron, whatever his name is, go get him. Y'all bat him down.
Yeah.
Easy work. You're not getting past sign. Easy work.
Now he don't want no problems. He listen. He ain't even want to respond to, so I already. He don't want no problems with you. He don't want that smoke. He don't want it, man. So,
black community scientifically literate now. Exactly. How about that? Got a weapon now against the high-level pseudos, low-level pseudos, right? Got a weapon against the charlatans. Scientific literacy is a vaccine against the charlatans that come in your community. I'll leave you with that.
Y'all will listen. Again, this is
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thanks for watching. This is Different with Ty. Peace and love.
All right, man.